Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for another edition of the Simulation World Auto Group PMI Truck Series. Tonight, we're at The Rock, the famed Rockingham Speedway, the virtual over 1 mile in Rockingham, North Carolina, just off of Route 74. And tonight, it is The Rock Batteries 200. For swag, presented by LSR TV and CRN Sports, again from virtual Rockingham, North Carolina. Welcome to the coverage of round number 3. I'm Wesley Outland. Joined alongside is Brett Rolls in Tennessee. And Charles Wooten has finally been able to get out of those rain boots. And after it's rained in Texas for the last 4 days or so, the man in Texas at Wichita Falls at the LSR TV production studio is ready to go for the coverage of this event. And again, Thunder Alley, it is The Rock. It's going to be a good show. Brett, we got 250 miles around Rockingham tonight.
Yeah, 250 laps here at the famed Rockingham Speedway. It's going to be an absolute thriller as I look through the board here, Wesley, in practice. And we've got some very, very close times here as it looks like the top 20 drivers are only separated just about over half a second. So looks like we're setting up here for some high action-packed racing here tonight, Wesley.
Yeah, I think we certainly are, as it is, of course, the next round of the Swag PMI Truck Series. And we'll get ready to drop the green flag here on qualifying. Couple of more minutes remaining in practice. And again, let's take a look at tonight's weather, not weather conditions, but I will show that in a minute. But let's go ahead and show you tonight's race format, the race information presented by Race on Texas. 1 hour practice just about to come to a close. 2-lap qualifying. Now, this series normally runs 250 miles or 250 laps. Well, what do you do when the track's a mile? Well, what do? Brett, you run 250 miles, 250 laps. That's exactly what we'll do tonight here at The Rock.
Yeah, it's going to be a very long race here. I mean, for a 1 mile track, it's going to tick off pretty quick, especially if we get some green flag racing in with some green flag pit stops. But we could be in for a pretty long stretch here tonight if these guys can get this 250 lap going. It gets pretty tight here at Rockingham, and I imagine it's not going to be any different as, you know, we have a lot of trucks here tonight, and especially a lot of talent as I look through the list of drivers here. Guys like the likes of Jason Maines, Garrett Maines, that father-son duo, Peyton Howell, Jared Mogard, Matthew Lee. There's a lot of very good, talented drivers here, Wesley. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see, you know, how patient these guys are, you know, with such a long race being 250 laps.
Let's take a look at the weather conditions for this race tonight. 78 degrees ambient temperature outside. Track temp jacket up to about almost 30 degrees more than that, or 25 degrees more than that. 104 degrees for track temp right now. Partly cloudy skies, sun dipping out. Sometimes the cloud cover will come in, and the wind speed as only at 1 mile per hour. The stage is set for the Rock Batteries 200, the next round of the Swag PMI Truck Series qualifying when we return on your home for sim racing, LSR TV, and those listening on CRN Sports at wearecrn.com.
ETE Reman is the world's best remanufacturer of transmissions for import and domestic cars and trucks. Based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, our customers are repair shops, auto parts stores, dealerships, and distributors. And with 6 nationwide warehouses, we're where and when you need us. So when you're looking for a transmission that is like new, only better, instill confidence and install ETE Reman.
No. Oh, somebody didn't pay the light bill. Welcome back to our coverage from Rockingham and the PMI Truck Series. Brett is getting ready to qualify here.
Yeah, we got a bunch of drivers getting ready to take to this one course here at Rockingham Speedway. going to be interesting to see who's able to grab that top spot here, as they got 2 laps to get it done. I'm not really seeing anybody on the track as of yet going out for qualifying. As now I'm starting to see some drivers out there right now. As you take a look right now, the current driver out there is he's going to roll into turn number 1, so he's going to make his efforts here on this lap. Can't really tell a number on my screen. It's going to be the 42 car. That's going to be Andrew Navarro. So Andrew Navarro looking to make some pretty good efforts here. We've seen him in a couple other series on LSR TV here, Wesley. So pretty familiar with Navarro's talents as far as it goes, but his first effort's going to be quick time so far at a 23.004. So Andrew Navarro looking to set quick time and start things off on the right note here, Wesley.
Well, that was just a few moments ago until the baby shark of Peyton Howell just bumped him. The number 11 machine out of Radford, Virginia, 22.888. Now the new fast time for the driver there in the number 11 machine, donning pink on the truck for observance of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Andrew Navarro, though, gets it back again. He'll go back to the top of the board. Howell will fall back to second. Critchley, the Daytona winner, right there in fourth. Howell now third. And Pete Polini, who just locked up a championship not too last week as well in the on-rail paints fall brawl for the super late models. He's ready to go in the 51 machine truck. Garrett Maines, he won a couple of weeks ago on the series at Atlanta. We'll see what he does here now in truck 1. Winner last week, 22.771. And the quest is underway for 2 wins in a row there, Brett. He'll go to the top of the board.
One thing that's interesting here, Wesley, the number 11 of Peyton Howell, the one that ran the 22.887 that you were talking about earlier, he actually just went back out onto the track. So I'm not exactly sure what may have happened, but Peyton Howell going back out, as it looks like he did not complete his qualifying efforts.
Jared Mogart on the speedway now. The paraplegic, he loves iRacing in that 00 truck. It says he's licensed as a 16. 3 wins in the World of Thunder Cup Series that has now moved him into the Swag Pavement Truck League. And let's see what he can do now. Currently 5th. Watch that ticker down on the bottom. As right now, Garrett Maines, Andrew Navarro, Peyton Howell, Curtis Critchley, and now the other truck that just broke into the top 5. Keep an eye on him, Nicholas Sacco. And there's Rhett Tucker for Rhett Tucker Racing. The 99 machine making his laps here around Rockingham, Brett Rolls.
Yeah, that 99 of Rhett Tucker, he has one sharp-looking truck here tonight, that blue and yellow number 99, as he's going to come around his first lap with a 24.094. So he's going to have to get a little bit faster in that Malware Bites number 99 just to be able to compete here with these drivers, because these guys are about almost a whole 2 seconds faster than him. As it looks like his second lap's going to be a 23.203. So Rhett Tucker looking to get things done. He's got a little bit of work to do on that number 99 machine so far, as now you're going to take a look at the number 22 machine now here coming onto the track for his qualifying efforts. That's going to be Kiernan Church, and I believe that's the Pavement Macking Incorporated sponsor number 22, as he's going to come around and he's going to start his qualifying efforts off here, Wesley.
And how about this? 24 entries signed in, ready to go for the last couple of weeks. A good stout pack for the trucks, as here comes Kiernan Church on the speedway in the PMI entry number 22, making his way off of the corner, trying to put down a decent lap. Here he comes. 23.005, lap 1. Good enough, and he crashes as he crosses the start-finish line, locking his time in. He'll lock himself in at 10th steal, 23.085. And if we do not see drivers like Smith or Winkler or Navarro take time, qualifying will be official, as it has just become official. And we are ready to introduce the starting lineup for the Rock Batteries 200 here or the Rock Battery's 250, excuse me. The Rock Battery's 250 here at the Rockingham Speedway. Hey, we have a new sponsor on board. They have sponsored the ticker. It's time for the ComServe Wireless starting lineup. We'll go 2 by 2 rows. Garrett Maines on the pole, the driver to Powelton, Virginia for Elliott Sadler Esports. To his outside, Andrew Navarro in 42. Row number 2 is going to find Peyton Howell, the Baby Shark in the Swag 11. To the outside, the Daytona winner, Curtis Critchley in 54.
Starting inside row number 3, that's going to be the number 2 car. That is the father of tonight's pole sitter. That is Jason Maines. And his outside, that's going to be the 29 of Nicholas Sacco. Row number 4 on the inside, that's going to be the 16 of Jared Mogard. And to his outside is going to be that number 31 of Jade Franklin.
Row number 5 to round out the top 10 of the Clinton, Maine, the 04. It's going to be the Toyota of Matthew Lee to the outside. Kernan Church, the PMI Truck Services number 22. He'll start 10th. Row number 6 will find Jared Torres in the 07. To his outside from Santa Ontario, Canada for Phantom Graphics Esports, Derek Fulton in the 7.
Row number 7 on the inside, that's going to be the 83 of Brandon Gagnon, and outside of him is going to be the 68 of Ryan Kendall. Row number 8 on the inside, that's going to be the 51 of Pete Polini, and to his outside, that's going to be the 99 of Rhett Tucker.
Row number 9. 17th will find Billy Weeks in the 14. To the outside, Jason Rominger in the 5. Your top 20. Row 10, Michael Adamson from Florida in the 46. To his outside, Troy DeCare in 41.
Row number 11 is going to be the 05 of Kyle Fowler, and outside of him, that's going to be the 82 of Nicholas Damaro. And your final row of tonight, row number 12 on the inside, that's going to be the number 17 of John Winkler, and to his outside, that's going to be the 00 of Billy Smith Sr.
And there is your starting lineup. It is presented by ComServe Wireless for all of your Verizon Wireless and FIO needs. Please go to the one of the 27 locations of ComServe Wireless in Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania, which specializes in Verizon Wireless. For more on store locations or information on the websites, whether you're interested in a career or more, go to ComServeWireless.com. The stage is set. We're about to go racing here at the Rockingham Speedway. The Rock Battery's 250 will commence when we return. Live from Rockingham Speedway, this is coverage of the Swag PMI Truck Series on LSR TV, your home for sim racing, and those listening on CRN Sports at wearecrn.com. Hey, it's Wesley Outland of CRN Sports, one of the co-founders. I'm also one of the announcers on Live Sim Racing, LSR TV. We've recently partnered with LiveSimRacing.com to become the official radio partner of all of the esports events. What is CRN? Well, first off, we're going to be covering esports like it's never been done before with our MRN, PRN type radio atmosphere like you experience with NASCAR. In addition to that, we will cover the Northwest Trucking Cup Series, the Northwest Tour, and of course special events and sanctions like Swag and special events like 6 Hours at Daytona and so much more. It's very simple to check out the racing action, whether on LSR TV, on Facebook and YouTube, or by listening. And that's how I want to help you real quickly. Go up simply to the website, wearecrn.com, wearecrn.com, click play, and you are set. It's that simple. We're excited to be the voice of live sim racing. We are CRN. Follow us at crn.com.
I would recommend studio displays to any company that participates in trade shows. Sometimes it's hard to find a partner that truly sees your vision, and so working with studio displays, they were able to take my vision and magnify it even more to set our brand apart in the marketplace. want to set ourselves apart from our competition, and so we didn't want a traditional trade show booth. So we came to Studio Displays with a challenge, and they raised the bar. They exceeded my expectations, and I would recommend them to anybody.
Back here at the Rockingham Speedway, wanted to give you guys an update of what is going on here. Understanding that there is a lobby server issue. There is a lobby server issue, and they are working on trying to get that resolved. We might have to do a reset. We might have to do a requalify. Hopefully we won't have to do that. But unfortunately, right now at this time, we are working on a lobby server issue. This has nothing to do with the broadcast, nothing to do with LSR TV's production. It is something involved with iRacing on the swag side as a lobby server issue. Once we get that resolved, we will get ready, Brett Rolls, for the Rock Batteries 250 here tonight. Round 3 of the swag PMI Truck Series at the Rock.
Yeah, just a little bit of a hiccup, but, you know, that just builds a little bit more anticipation as we get ready to turn these 24 drivers loose here for 250 laps around the famed Rockingham Speedway.
So again, we are having a lobby server issue on iRacing. We're quickly working with the swag officials to find out what we can do to remedy it. The lineup was set via qualifying. However, there are some lobby issues. We might have to requalify. We might be able to continue with the starting lineup as it is right now. We are currently working on that as we speak. So with that said, we will go back to commercial break. Or actually, we'll just let you hear a little musical interlude as we still continue to communicate behind the scenes with our swag officials. And we'll let you know as soon as we know when we're ready to drop the green here at the Rock for the Rock Batteries 250.
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom t-shirts, racing. We'll do actually any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized, I mean, we'll do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything, hoodies, hats. hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. You know, just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customer and stuff. So you can just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing. And if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, you know, it's a little bit differently. You know, you can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink color. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and you know, they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, just it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum, you know, requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees@yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
here at Rockingham Speedway on iRacing for the next round of the SWAG PMI Truck Series. There was a iRacing server lobby issue. We have already worked on getting that relieved and taken care of. We are about ready to go racing for the Rock Racing Batteries 250 here at the Rockingham Speedway on your home for sim racing, LSR TV, and those that are listening on CRN Sports at wearecrn.com. Brett Rolls, Wesley Outland here with you. And Brett, again, just little hiccups on iRacing's server part, but once we get everything back going again, I think we'll be ready to drop the green flag and it'll be a regular show.
Yeah, it's like we were joking in the little bit of the hiccup time there, Wesley. This is basically like our version of like a rain delay, or something that you'd see in the real world that takes just a little bit of extra time to get things going. Getting the track re-prepped and everything like that, so to speak. So looks like we've got pretty much everybody back here, as we got 24 cars, same as we had from the previous server. So everybody making their way back here into this one. So everybody's stacked up, ready to go 250 miles, Wesley. Looks like we're going to have a race here tonight.
It is Garrett Maines, Jared Torres on the front row, and actually it looks like that is the exact correct starting lineup as the field is getting assembled, but they are possibly, the lineup might not be correct. It looks like, for the most of my part, it looks like that it is, but it might not be correct. So you're going to see the pace car drop onto pit road, but they're not going to come to full speed. We're still going to take another lap under caution or slow, because we're trying to get the field assembled in the right order, and that's exactly what you see happening right now. Brett, we are manually giving the correct starting lineup right now on the race course.
Yeah, similar to what a lot of people see with what the World of Thunder series used to do as far as their lineups go. They'd give like an extra couple of laps for everybody to get into position. They do the 4-wide salute. Pretty much same deal here. Just got to give a lap or two for drivers to be able to shuffle around, get back into the correct starting order that they had from qualifying just a little bit ago. I dare say, by the look of the field, it looks like everybody's pretty much stacked back up to where they are. They might end up having to go one more lap as everybody's trying to catch back up to the field here. So I imagine one more lap here, Wesley, and we'll be going green next time by.
Yeah, I'm thinking next time around they're going to get the go sign and we will get ready to unfurl the green flag. The 1 to go indication, I believe, is being given to the field this time by. So we will get ready for the start. The field looks like they're in place. They are ready to go, and we are ready for the start as well. Hey, by the way, once again, we mentioned it earlier tonight. We'll mention it again. Starting lineup is presented by ComServe Wireless. Of course, for all of your Verizon Wireless and FiOS needs, please go to one of their 27 locations of ComServe Wireless in Virginia, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. For information on locations, the website, or even on positions of recruitment for work, go to ComServeWireless.com. Again, that's the proud sponsor of our race ticker. We're ready to go here for round 1 of the trucks at Rockingham for our Thursday Truck Thunder. The Northwest iRacing Truck Series coming up later tonight. But now at the Rock, we're ready for round number 3 of the SWAG Series. Looks like they're going to give them one more lap around, and then we'll go to green flag.
All right, Wesley, with us having an extra lap here to get ready for this race,
yes,
I'm going to do it, Wesley. It's time to get that announcer's curse heat ready. Who are you picking for this 250-mile race?
Don't you put that evil on me, Brett Rolls.
I'm putting that evil on you, Ricky Bobby. I want to hear it.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. There's so many good trucks in the field. Oh. I guess I'm going to say Garrett Maines. I'm going to see him go 2 in a row.
All right, you're going to go Garrett. I'm going to go about 2 rows back, and I'm going to go with the number 2 in this series. I'm going to go with his father, Jason.
His daddy? We've literally cursed them. We've cursed both of them.
I think it's going to be one of the Elliott Sadler Esports cars here tonight. Well, trucks for that matter.
With that being said, the pace car is already in. The field is ready to come to the restart zone out of turn number 4. We're ready for the Rock Racing Batteries 250. Ready for the green flag to come in the air. We are officially racing. We're kicking the asphalt at the Rock swag style in turn 1. Underway, ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race here at the Rock. The Rock Racing Batteries 250 is underway. And Maines on the jump. He'll lead in the early going. Andrew Navarro second. Peyton Howell third. Critchley, Sacco, your top 5 off turn 4.
Yeah, Garrett Maines opening up a gap. He's already out to about a half a second lead and growing. So that Smithfield #1 Elliott Sadler Esports truck is, as usual, a pretty good hot rod here tonight. As looks like he's going to show some strength early on here as he rolls through 3 and 4. Garrett Maines in that Toyota Tundra truck, he has got one heck of a machine as you see him come up, almost gets into the wall there off of turn 2. As you see him running right up close to the wall and then he dives it down low. Kind of a little bit lower than what I've seen a couple of drivers do, maybe about like a tire width or so. So Garrett Maines doing some extra digging here early on, Wesley. It might be a little bit early, but you know, I'm not too very sure on how tire game works here at Rockingham.
Maines, Navarro, Howell, Critchley, Mogard in the top 5 opening laps. The start of the first couple of laps under caution to get the field set up correct, and now we're underway. By the way, Kyle Fowler, the 05, you have him down all the way at the bottom. He is actually the race director for this event. He is not a racer. He is actually a race director. And we got a caution on the speedway. Yellow flag coming out in the opening go of things. We'll find out what happened here. And we'll also set you up for the first swag instant replay of the night here on the Rock Racing Batteries 200. Let's take a look at the replay once we get it from the production truck, and we will try to figure out what happened. I'm still lost for words as well here, Brett. All right, I think we got it. Let's see here. Is that Rominger in the 5?
Not sure. I don't really see anything around here that I've been looking around here, Wesley. Not sure exactly what brought that caution out.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost myself.
I'm not seeing any admin thrown cautions in the server, so I'm not seeing any cautions being thrown in the server either by iRacing official or by admin official. So this one here definitely has me a little confused, even with all of my experience running here on the iRacing sim. Yeah, I don't really have an explanation for you here, Wesley.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost myself as we've cautioned on the speedway. Maybe we got another look at instant replay. Maybe we have tracked her down and found it. No, there we go. No, 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 no. Going around and just simply, you know, okay, maybe they shouldn't have threw yellow, but in the effort of safety, that's why they threw the caution quickly, because the truck was already at kind of a 45-degree angle there, Brett.
Yeah, there's that extra telemetry diagonal type of degree angle, whatever you want to call it, that iRacing has set to where if any of these cars, you know, just get to that little bit of gray area to where they're sideways or not, that will trigger the iRacing caution, even if you do see the drivers and the trucks maintain everything and be able to save it like you did there on that replay. So I think that one there was just a matter of mathematics and science playing against the favor of the drivers, as you know, we definitely should have been able able to continue green flag there, Wesley.
Well, one thing for certain, we are finally underway. Couple of trucks coming down onto the pit lane, and other ones kind of playing peekaboo, like Garrett Main, seeing what he wants to do. Charles. Got you. Understanding that was about at a 47-degree angle. We done the math on it, so that was the reason why the caution was thrown. So, yeah, just 2 degrees more. Throw the caution. 2 degrees more.
Cody Wooten behind the scenes, busting out the protractor from 8th grade math class.
The man is genius, people. Getting ready. Oh my goodness, we're under the yellow flag. Working on getting the field set back up. Hey, by the way, tonight the Rock Racing Batteries 250 underway. Round 3 for the Swag PMI Truck Series. Coming up later tonight, it is the next round of the playoffs in the West Bay Napa Auto Parts Northwest iRacing Truck Series. We are at Watkins Glen for the next round of the playoffs. It's going to be Greg Rentz and myself up in the booth. Brett, are you working pit road? Are you racing the trucks tonight? What are you doing?
I'm not exactly sure. I think I might end up working.
Playing hooky.
I might end up working pit road if you guys need me. If Cody's willing to, pay the extra $5, whatever it is, pit road announcer fee. If not, we're gonna bust out the hot rod.
It only pays $5.
Well, I mean, hey, you got to work your hustle, Wesley. Oh, I get paid in Bitcoins now. Well, man, you might as well just get me some dog treats.
Let's go back to the restart, shall we? We'll determine if Brett will be in the pit road for the truck race later tonight. By the way, that's at Watkins Glen. We're going to go left turn, right turn, straight line, Monk's Corners, and more whenever we run that race coming up later this evening at 11:45 Eastern on LSR TV. And those listening on CRN Sports, it is Thursday Truck Thunder. Triple T on LSR TV. And on the restart, it's Garrett Mains, but we have another visit by the Banana Republic flag. Yep, here comes the caution again.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have yellows breeding yellows here to start out this race. I'm not sure what may have caused this one here, as I believe Cody Wooten's working on the replay as you see them coming down the back straightaway going into 3. And it looks like the second verse is going to be the same as the first on this one, Wesley. It looks like everybody just stacking up going into 3 and 4. Looking like everybody's just a little bit afraid to lift up off that throttle
Brandon,
pedal.
oh my goodness. Brandon Gagnon and Matt Lee, drivers involved.
Yeah, and it's been a pretty rough week for those two drivers. I run on Tuesday night in the Dirt Super Late Model Series that Swag puts on, the Studio Displays Super Late Model Series. And Brandon Gagnon and Matt Lee and myself, we all had a pretty rough week Tuesday night at Kokomo. So pretty unfortunate to see those two drivers, having some more troubles going into Thursday.
Balls, we were at Fairbury. We were at Fairbury on Tuesday night for the Swag Dirt Series. Fairbury American Legion Speedway, #Falls. And next week we're at the dirt track at Charlotte for round 4.
Yeah,
we're under the caution. Yes, sir. Back under yellow. So for the most part so far, Garrett Mains has been the man out in front of that Smithfield Foods. Elliott Sadler Esports #1. My pick of the litter. You pick his father, Jason.
Now, one thing that I am a little uncertain about here, Wesley, with this PMI Truck Series, I've noticed with these two cautions, nobody has come down pit road yet. Is there a set tire limit to these guys as far as this 250-lap race goes? All right, so being told that there is actually some limitations. There is 3 sets in the pits, as well as the set that is on the trucks right now that they started the race with, as well as they have the break at, you said, stage 50 or lap 50 and lap 100 as well, Cody?
Yes, stage 1 is at lap 50, stage 2 is at lap 100, and then there's a 150 lap run to the checker.
Gonna be pretty interesting to see, throughout the course of these first 2 50-lap stages. That may be the reason that you see everybody starting to drive a little aggressive here, trying to get everything in on these short runs before they get to that long run where possible green flag pit stops may throw a little bit of a monkey wrench into pit strategies.
Garrett Maines ready to bring the field back for the restart here. The lights are off on the pace car. And we will get ready to come back for a start. No, they are still on the pace car. The lights are still on, so we are still under caution. Let's take a quick break. Back with more from Rockingham in a moment. Ready to come back here at the Rock. The pace car is in. They're in the restart box, and we are back underway. Garrett Maines on the jump, pulling away. A big lead over the pack there. Second and third battling side by side on the restart.
Take a look, though, who is hard. Little time going to the front.
Working their way back around the racetrack. There's Mogard. Nestled behind him, Sacco in the 29. Those trucks work their way off turn 4, back down the straightaway. Another lap on the board. Remember, there will be a caution flag thrown on lap 50. That will be the end of stage 1. Then they'll have another yellow flag at lap 100. That'll be the end of stage number 2. A couple of other cautions could be thrown in there. We've already seen 2 caution flags since the start of the race. And then they have a 150 lap green flag run in stage number 3. There's Sacco from Bushkill, Pennsylvania, one of the new swag drivers. He works his way around the racetrack. Behind him is Peyton Howell. Navarro in the top 5, and around the stripe they go. Back to turn 1, single file there, Brett.
Yeah, we're single file here for the moment. Honestly, it looks like these guys just trying to tick off some laps after 2 very early back-to-back caution flags. But one thing that I've noticed here, Wesley, is Jared Mogard has allowed Garrett Maines out to about a half a second lead, but Garrett Maines is having a little bit of trouble being able to pull out to such a high advantage like we saw in that last green flag stretch that we had. As now Jared Mogard going to cut that lead down to just about 0.4 of a second this last time around. So that 00 machine running P2, you know, like you pointed out earlier, we saw him have a lot of very good, clean, fast runs through the Tuesday and Monday Night Cup series for the World of Thunder guys, and put on a couple of wins there. So, you know, with being in the NASCAR trucks where it's a little less horsepower and a little bit more momentum racing, I'd be pretty, I guess you could say I'd be a little surprised to not see him run exceptionally well here, as he's looking to keep that podium position so far, as he's gapping that 29 of Nicholas Sacco a little bit now. So Garrett Maines and Jared Mogard both tandemly starting to separate themselves from this field, as the gap between the two of them has stayed pretty much constant. So as they go around the track here, it's pretty even lap times between the two of them. I'm talking mere hundredths of a second between the two of them as we go by over the course of the last 7 laps.
Working on lap number 27 this time by. As there you see the top 3 trucks right there, single file. The rest of the trucks there in that pack as well. They dive into turn number 3. Up the racetrack. Here comes that battle now inside the top 10. As they work their way back to the corner, Navarro goes up the racetrack. This will open up the door for Critchley and Church. All these drivers in that pack as they work their way to the back straightaway. Still Garrett Maines out in front here. As again, remember, we are about 20 laps away from a caution flag in stage number 1. Kernan Church right there as well, hooked up with those drivers as they cross the line. There he is in 22.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of these drivers, Wesley, have pretty much calmed down. You don't see them throwing it in bonsai into the bottom like we did off the first couple of starts here. Guys are pretty much, you know, sitting back, waiting for an opportunity to make their moves now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us take this green all the way to the next stage, as it looks like the closest gap as far as battling goes on the track would be just off screen to the back of the around maybe I'd say the 8th to 10th position there. As you see right now, the 2 car of Jason Maines, my pick, he's going to go side by side, and this is pretty much the closest battle that we've got on the speedway right now, and that's back for just outside the top 10. That's for position 11 right now, as Jason Maines battling with that number 51 of Pete Polini. And you can see, you know, the outside and the inside groove pretty much even racing right now, Wesley. So this track's very racy here at Rockingham this evening.
Maines right now outside the top 10. He's in 11th, trying to close in on Derek Fulton. In the 7, he's right there on his back door as they cross the line, going back into turn number 1 and 2. Looking to see what these drivers can do as they work their way into the corner. Maines now has some company behind him, along with Polini. And Pete Polini was the 2020 On-Rail Paints Super Late Model Champion. Hey, by the way, don't forget, they have the All-Star race tomorrow night.
And on your screen, you can see a battle for the 2nd spot heating up between the 29 of Nicholas Sacco and that 00 of Jared Mogard. Is Sacco going to throw it down to the bottom? He's not going to be able to clear Mogard as of yet. Mogard hanging on to that back quarter panel with everything he can. Sacco going to throw it in with almost like a dirt track slider type maneuver, and Mogard going to have to back out of the throttle and give up that position. So put Sacco now up to P2, but don't hold it out, as Jared Mogard not looking to go down without a fight, as he's only fell back maybe about a car length and a half. So Mogard, I'm not sure if he maybe used up his tires there a little too much trying to keep up with Garrett Maines here early on in the race, but it looks like Sacco has a little bit more of a faster truck, maybe a little bit better tire wear.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye on that driver. He's right now in that 3rd position. Jared Mogard in the 3rd position right now. In front of him is Nicholas Sacco. Here he comes off of turn number 4. As they cross the stripe. The Rock Racing Batteries 200 underway. 250 actually. We got a truck off the pace there at the bottom of turn 4. He'll keep on going. No harm, no foul. Will stay green. For the most part now, Brett, everybody kind of just, like you said, playing nice, staying single file. Nobody making any daring moves, if you will. Settling themselves in, I believe, for the end of stage number 1.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much the game plan that you're going to see for these first two 50-lap stages, Wesley. When the drivers have fresh rubber on the trucks, I guarantee you that's when you're going to see that hot and heavy race in action that we saw towards the beginning of the event here. But as these tires start to fade, I think these drivers are smart enough to realize, all right, trucks are starting to handle a little poorly now. We don't have so much grip as we thought we did at the beginning of the race. Time to back off a little bit. Earn these positions and pick them off one by one rather than try to get 2 or 3 at a time with a drastic move. As it looks like a couple of drivers, as we get closer to this stage ending here, as we're getting ready to be within 10 laps here this next time by. Looks like a couple of drivers looking to make their move. As you look on right now with that number 51 of Pete Polini, as the battle right in front of him is starting to heat up. That's the 83 of Brandon Gagnon and the 31 of Jade Franklin and a 68 of Ryan Kendall, as Kendall and Franklin have been side by side for the past 3 laps. Not really much room to give. And that number 31 of Jade Franklin, that is one sharp looking truck, as you see that 31 now start to dive down to the inside, cutting off that 68's momentum on the bottom. So a couple of drivers, Wesley, starting to heat things up as we get the 10 to go signal here before the stage ends.
Yeah, this is again the battle inside the top 15. Franklin in the 31 truck, as well as the 68 of Kendall. Got a little run there just a moment ago as they worked their way into 3. Couldn't get there. I'll chop him off. Beautiful looking truck, as you said, on Franklin for the 31 Ford as he works his way up the racetrack. Down to the inside comes Kendall. Can't close in. Reel him in. 9 to go in stage number 1, and it is still Maines out in front. Here he comes. There's the interval. We just showed you somewhere in the top 15. They're going into turn number 1 and 2. The leader is back in turn 1. That's how fast he is around the racetrack and closing in on the back marker trucks as well. Aerial coverage presented by All-American Pools. You're riding on board the copter cam as they work their way into turn number 3 and 4. And Maines in his own world. Nobody can catch him. Almost over 3 seconds on the interval. Sacco falling back as they go to turn 1.
Yeah, and it looks like we may end up catching, like you said, the back of the pack here and some lap traffic right before this stage race ends, as we're going to have about 5 laps to go, 6 laps to go this time by. And Garrett Maines just using that gap to his advantage. As you know, putting a couple of cars right before the stage gap may increase his confidence about having a little bit of a cushion here, as you're going to ride on board. And you can see just how much he's hugging that yellow line through the corners now, as he comes right up to that back wall, coming down the straightaway and then right back down to the bottom. So precise movements here from your leader, and it looks like he's just hitting his marks, Wesley, as he comes around this time at the stripe. It's going to be 5 to go until the stage race ends, and that number 1 machine of Garrett Maines looking really comfortable out front.
Very strong run for the young man. He got that win last week at Atlanta. The driver out of Powelton, Virginia. He won the Color Street 250. Now he's trying to double down here tonight at the Rockingham Speedway virtually for iRacing for the PMI Truck Series. Part of Thursday Truck Thunder on LSR TV. Coming up later tonight, 11:45 Eastern, 10:45 Central will be the nightcap with the Northwest iRacing Truck Series, and we will be going road course racing in the next round of the West Bay Napa Auto Parts playoffs at Watkins Glen.
Yeah.
So Maines is out in front. Here comes the drivers inside the top 5 of Critchley, Torres, Howell, Fulton, all those drivers in that max. Actually, Kernan Church. You see them working their way around the racetrack, and the laps are winding down. There's Jason Maines also right now. Comfortably still, no change in position in 11th.
Yeah, it looks like Jason Maines is just playing out these first couple of segments here. As his son Garrett Maines, the current race leader, came around for the 2 laps to go this last time by, and he's still out to that 1.5 second advantage. So Garrett Maines looking to put stage 1 under his belt, and he's not looking back in that rearview mirror as he has just now caught the end of the field. He's got that 82 of Nicholas Navarro right in front of him. That 82's got some significant right front damage though, so that may be the reason why he's slowed down this much. But as we get the white flag for this stage race, Garrett Maines just, as you can see, he's not really pushing the lap car. He's kind of just hanging back. He's going to drop a little bit closer here, but expect the caution to come here as we near the stage race end at lap 50.
Somewhere when they pass the top 10 across the scoring loop, we will have the yellow flag thrown. That'll be on lap 51 as Garrett Maines will win stage number 1. There you see the yellow flag now being displayed, letting everyone know the top 10 have crossed the scoring loop. For Maines, Sacco, Mogard, Critchley, Torres, Howell, Fulton, Church, everyone else, they will get stage points that will go towards their playoffs. If they make the playoffs, they get stage points going towards their point standings. And it'll be stage 1 winner here tonight for the Rock Racing Batteries 250 at Rockingham, the number 1 of Garrett Maines. There he is. Gotta think everybody's coming down to pit lane whenever we open pit road here, Brett.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting to see. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to need tires here, especially fuel for that matter. I'm not sure how much farther these guys can go. Definitely
Here they
not
come.
The other 50-lap segment. As you said, Wesley, everybody getting ready to come down pit lane, as I'm not seeing anybody so far looking to stay out, as it looks like everybody's going to be coming down. As I'm riding around here with the pace car, and he's rolling around by himself, so we have everybody down on pit lane right now.
Got a feeling it's going to be 4 tires and fuel for everyone as they come down to the pit lane. Every truck onto the pit lane except maybe some guys in the back marker trucks.
Oh, and some issues for your race leader, Garrett Maines. He overshot his pit stall there.
He certainly did.
Looked like he recovered pretty smooth, but Mogard's going to be able to get out of the pit box. Looks like Mogard maybe took only fuel, Wesley.
Yeah. And Maines is going to come out 3rd when all this ends.
Yeah,
on this round of pit stops.
Curtis Critchley in the 54. He's actually going to nose him out at the line there. So Garrett Maines, that little bit of a hiccup, you can see just how much time that is going to cost you on pit road here. You know, and a short track like this, you know, Wesley, you almost got to be picture perfect with your pit stops coming down on pit road. You cannot afford to have mistakes like that, especially with the level of competition that we have in this series.
So as we cycle back around, Jared Mogard will be the new leader. Curtis Critchley 2nd. Garrett Maines, Jared Torres, and Nicholas Sacco. Here's your SawBlade.com top 5. We get ready to go to commercial break. Stage 1 in the books, it goes to Garrett Maines. He enters the pits first after a hiccup. He'll exit on the restart for stage 2 in 3rd. We'll be back with the green flag in stage 2 from Rockingham with the Rock Racing Batteries 250 in a moment. Back here at Rockingham, the PMI Truck Series, part of Truck Thunder Thursday. Thursday Truck Thunder. Come on, Wesley, get it right. Thursday Truck Thunder. Anyhow, it's on LSR TV, and those that are listening on CRN Sports at wearecrn.com. Wesley Allen, Brett Rolls, Charles Wooten, the production chair. A little late getting things started, but finally, we have under 200 laps to go. We have stage number 1 completed, about to begin stage 2. Green flag go back in the air as they're in the restart zone. And Mogard will now get his chance to lick his chops and be out in front. But not for long. Here comes Maines, like taking candy from a baby, coming up on Halloween weekend. So much for that trick or treat. He goes to the lead in 1.
Yeah, it almost looked like Jared Mogard almost pulled over for Garrett Maines there. Garrett Maines going to get a huge hole shot out of the lead for that. Not really sure exactly what happened there, as that's not like Jared Mogard to just let somebody by, but as I look now, he's up on the high side of the track, so there may be some issues on that 00 machine, Wesley, as he's now fallen back to 4th and possibly 5th as that number 54 machine of Curtis Critchley looking to have his chops full of that 00 back bumper here as we come out of turn number 4.
You know, we talked about the possibility that maybe he might not have pitted. That maybe, or maybe he just took fuel only. So maybe those tires are actually really worn out, and you see how he has fallen back because of it.
That is a very good point, Wesley, and holy shot out of a cannon. Here comes that 04 machine of Matthew Lee, a driver that we saw have some issues earlier on in the race. He's got some front damage on that Toyota Tundra, but he's got that Studio Displays number 04 hot and heavy on that bottom as he's going to dive to the inside of Mogard now. So put Matthew Lee up to that 4th spot as he hard charges to the front, trying to regain some momentum from that Tuesday night fiasco in the super late models.
Matt Lee from Clinton, Maine. He'll put that truck 04 in the 4th position. And while that goes on, you see Jason Maines, your pick, battling with Mogard, trying to get around him for the top 5 as they go back to turn 1 in front of Sacco as well.
Yeah, I think Jason Maines was just kind of biding his time there for that first segment there, as he's looked a little bit faster and a little bit smoother through this second 50-lap segment so far compared to that first stretch. He's looking a little more aggressive for spots as he's just outside. Now he's inside the top 5 after he passed Mogard officially on that ticker now. So Mogard having some more issues as now he's fallen all the way back to 9th. So Mogard on them old tires, you know, not really sure if that pit strategy is going to play out to his favor, as right now on screen you see Curtis Critchley in that number 54 machine currently outside the top 5, and he's going to fall back to 9th now on the board as well. So a couple of issues for these drivers that got out to front, Wesley. I'm not sure. I think Mogard may not have been the only guy that took only fuel.
And how about Jared Mogard? He is all the way falling back to 12th. In that 00 truck, he was on the pole when we came back to green in stage number 2, and now he has fallen all the way back to unlucky number 13. Well, he's got back up to 12th. Franklin now 13th, but anyhow, they work to the back straight away. There's the leader. Maines crossed the line again.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if what kind of strategy Mogard has in mind here, as you never really can tell. Mogard's one of those, he's either going to pull it out of the bag of tricks or he knows something that not many people do about fuel conservation and stuff. So keep an eye on Mogard as we get closer to the end of the race later on, and possibly see if that pit strategy comes back to be fruition for him, as Garrett Maines looking to pick up where he left off, back out to about a 1-second lead here. And your top 3 right now runs Garrett Maines, Nicholas Sacco, and our producer Cody Wooten's pick running 3rd right now. That is the number 11. That's Swag Breast Cancer Awareness Racing for Hope, number 11. He's had a pretty good run so far, as he's in some clean air right now looking to chase down that 29 of Nicholas Sacco.
The trucks wore their way into the corner. There is again the rest of the field working their way. There is a little bit of, well, we got one truck off the pace there.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a hiccup there. Not exactly sure
Fulton getting by.
what's going on. It looks like Derek Fulton, he's going to have a little bit of room to the bottom, but that's going to he's going to be bringing, I believe that's the 42 of Andrew Navarro with him as he's trying to get around the 31 of Franklin. So now that the 7 and the 42 have cleared Franklin, going to be pretty interesting to see if these two kind of ride it out a little bit as they're both looking to make up some ground that they lost through the pit stops.
Franklin falling back. Franklin falling way back now in the clutches of the top 20 and 16th as they work their way back around the corner.
Yeah, and the more I look at Franklin's car, it looks like Franklin's got a little bit of damage on the right side of that spoiler in the back end, so could be causing the truck to handle just a little bit different or a little bit peculiar for their liking. As you see just how much that 31 truck is affected by it. If you go and take a look at it on your screen, if you look closely, you can see just how much that 31 starts bobbling through the corner. It almost looks like the truck is almost on hydraulics, Wesley, as that truck is bouncing real bad through turns 3 and 4.
Working them into the corner. There you see again Franklin's truck really loose as he comes off of turn 4. Put now lap 70 on the board. They're working. 30 left to go here in stage number 2.
And it looks like we've got some contention here going on for your top 5 spot. It looks like Jason Maines is starting to get tracked down a little bit by Ryan Kendall in that 68 and the 72 of Bladen Edwards. So we got some fast guys making their way to the front here, Wesley. It looks like towards the end of this second segment, things are shaping up pretty hot and heavy for that 150 lap sprint. So I think we're setting in for a pretty good barn burner as we got another truck off the pace on the high side of turn 2. Jason Maines having to take some evasive actions to play a little bit of maneuvering there, not to get caught up in it, as we got another truck off the pace on the high side as you see Maines diving down to the bottom. So a couple of lap cars and slower cars that have damage may be playing into some factoring points here for position as we get closer to about 25 to go left in the stage.
And while that goes on, Jason Maines, there you see him in the 2, is trying to close in on Matthew Lee, and is his son Garrett Maines. We just saw a glimpse of him a moment ago back to the other blue truck, like he's trying to get around lap traffic.
But take a look who's right there. All this lap traffic has done is allowed that 29 of Nicholas Sacco to draw even closer to that back bumper of that Elliott Sadler Esports Smithfield number 1. So it's going to be pretty interesting if we get a little bit closer to the even further back in this pack. Just how much traffic's going to play into factor as you see the 7 of Derek Fulton and the 00 of Jared Mogard next on the chopping block as Garrett Maines is right on their back bumper as they come out of turn 4. So you got 2 cars battling for position right in front of your 2 leaders. Things are about to get hot and heavy here, Wesley.
A little wiggle there for a second as Maines is trying to move by lap trucks. Here comes Sacco trying to close in as well. And these lap trucks will not get out of the way. Fulton goes a lap down. Mogard going a lap down. He dropped the green flag in stage number 2. Got to be some type of a handling issue on both Fulton's truck and Mogard.
Yeah, I think Mogard's issue is just that fact of them old tires, Wesley. I'm not sure if we go to him, if we have that ticker that
Tucker going a lap down now. 99 up the speedway.
So it looks like more cars and more trucks starting to get a little bit slower here. Not sure exactly what's going on as Garrett Maines has lapped up to P12. So only 11 trucks left on the lead lap. Make that top 10. So only your top 10 trucks are going to be on the lead lap now as he goes by the 07 machine of Jared Torres. So that's going to leave your top 10 a lap down. The next one on the chopping block is going to be that 54 of Curtis Critchley. So a lot of drivers going a lap down early on, Wesley.
There's your pit stop count of who has made the most pit stops right now. Weeks in the back with 3 pit stops. Everyone else between 2 and 1. Top 3 trucks making 1 pit stop with Main, Sacco, and Howell, 1, 2, and 3.
I wonder if we could pull up that graphic that we had for the Northwest Truck Series that shows the intervals on tires, just to see how many laps Mogard has on those tires, to see if maybe that's what's causing him to have such issues here. Because he went from the penthouse to the outhouse real quick. He was up challenging on the battle. As you see the current stint of tires for Mogard, so maybe a 2-tire stop for Mogard trying to make it to that 100-lap point. But the 00 went from looking really fast and challenging with that number 1 of Garrett Maines for the lead to being a lap down and now all the way back, and it looks like he's running currently in position, I don't see him on my board here, position 13. So Mogard losing some wholesale positions and an entire lap throughout this first 100-lap stint. So not sure if it was a 2-tire stop for Mogard or what the course of action may be here, as we have a yellow flag.
Yellow flag coming out. Problems, bottom of the racetrack. And a swag instant replay here will tell you what happened. 3rd caution of the night. Besides the end of the stage and end of the wall.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Nicholas Navarro. He's just going to get into turn 1 and 2. It looks like he's going to get on the throttle a little bit too early and then had to lift, and it just pushed the front end of the truck up to the inside or the outside wall, and he just barely grazed it enough to take the air off of it and get that truck sideways, Wesley.
So my question is this, as we are approaching now in the 80th lap, under 20 remaining here in stage number 2. The Rock Batteries 250. Do they come down to the pit lane?
It's going to be pretty interesting. I think if you see anybody come down to the pit lane, it may be some of these cars or trucks that are a lap down. So anybody outside of the top 10 right now is fair game to see come down, possibly get some tires, maybe make a stretch to get their lap back right before that 100-lap mark, and possibly capitalize on some field advantage with us being inside 20 laps until that stage break. If they get 4 tires now, Wesley, it could mean the factor of starting towards the front or being, a lap down towards the end of that first stage. So be on the lookout to see the likes of maybe Jared Mogard and Pete Polini and Andrew Navarro, drivers like that, Derek Fulton, possibly come down here and get some tires to play some strategy in.
Nobody is coming in, and I believe it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't occasions where maybe
as we are going to have some people. It looks like the 99 of Rhett Tucker and Jared Mogard in that 00. So like I said, don't count out Mogard. He's one of those guys that, he likes to roll the dice a little bit. He thinks outside the box when it comes to fuel conservation and tire wear and stuff like that.
Critchley and Torres also came down to the pit lane. They were in the top 10, 10th and 11th. Mogard is in, as you said. Rhett Tucker, Brett, Pete Polini, Troy DeCare, Kernan Church, Michael Adamson, all these trucks on the pit lane. So again, for the most part, everybody in the top 10 stayed out. Everyone else behind there, laps down, also came down to the pit lane as well.
Rhett Tucker going to get 4 tires. It looks like Mogard's going to get 4 tires and some fuel as well. Looks like the 22 of Kieran Church may have taken 2 tires, as he was almost at the outside door of Mogard. So a couple of drivers on some different strategies here, but I like Jared Mogard's chances here coming towards the end of the stage here, setting up for that 150-lap shootout, Wesley. It looks like the 07 of Jared Torres is going to get the wave around from your officials. He's going to go back on the lead lap as the lucky dog. He's currently in the pits right now, so it looks like Jared Torres is going to be able to have his cake and eat it too. He's going to be able to get that pit stop that he needed, so he's going to have the ability to possibly get out before, as it looks like he may be stuck on being a lap down, as well as the pace cars and the lead trucks just went by, Wesley.
And the lights are going to be off for the pace car. We'll get ready to go back for the restart with Garrett Maines, Nicholas Sacco, Peyton Howell, Matthew Lee, Jason Maines, no change in the top 5. None of those trucks came down to the pit lane. And we will get ready for the restart. There's about 15 or so laps remaining in stage number 2. Pace car coming in as Maines will try to continue that domination. Green going in the air, Sacco to the outside. Howell, Lee, Father Maines to boot, top 5. We're back underway, and on the jump again, it's Maines pulling away in the number 1.
What a start by the 11 of Peyton Howell. He was practically in sync with your leader, Garrett Maines, on that start. But Nicholas Sacco going to be able to ride some high side momentum through 1 and 2 to regain it as we come back around to take the first lap under green flag on this restart. It's still going to be Garrett Maines up front, but don't look now as that 29 of Nicholas Sacco. He's looking to dial things up a little bit hot and heavy towards the end of this stage. He's not trying to let that number 1 machine slip away as he was right there battling for in lap traffic before that caution came out. So Nicholas Sacco knows he has that Chevy Silverado capable to get up there and compete. It's just going to be a matter of keeping that number 1 car within sight and not allowing Garrett Maines to get out front and play the advantage of setting the pace like he is so accustomed to. But with a guy like Garrett Maines, I mean, you talk about the talent that this kid has. I mean, some of the better races that he's won, I mean, you pointed out a couple earlier. Then you throw that E300 at Martinsville that Swag did not too long ago. This kid's got a lot of talent, and it's going to take everything, including some luck, to go your way to be able to beat this kid, as he's pretty much led every single lap so far in this event, and he's looking to possibly lead it continuing into that second stage and double up on stage points for the playoffs.
Really a talented driver, Garrett Maines out in front. And that number 1 machine. Hey, by the way, beginning at midnight tonight, you can register for LSRT's coverage of the iRacing Power I Nationals, the Midget Nationals. That'll be coming up in December. I want to say it's December 11th and 12th. And we have a caution. But again, registration opens at midnight tonight for the December 11th and 12th iRacing Power I Nationals on LSR TV and CRN Sports. As we have a yellow flag on the speedway. Caution out again. We'll find out what happened here. Brett Rolls, a little contact there. And oh my goodness, right in the middle of the pack. What a save for the rest of those trucks, and the single trucks being bottom of 3.
Yeah, it looks like there was a little bit of contact, and with the wear on these tires, it looks like he just had his hands full there trying to make that save. Not sure if he was able to keep it off that inside wall, as that was a pretty close look there from that camera angle that we had, but overall that was a pretty impressive save there coming through the corner.
Caution coming out. Nine to go here in stage number 1. Bladen Edwards giving up 8th position, dropping down onto the pit lane. Everyone else will stay the same. Quick break. Take a look at the Saw Blade top 5 around the rock. We'll come back with coverage as we approach lap 100 complete in the Rock Racing Batteries 250.
I want to show you what we can do. It's like a newborn puppy. Like, I want to show you how cute we are. Come see us. Come see what we can do. You'll be amazed. My name is Kim Connolly-Wilner. I worked for Studio for almost 4 years. I project engineer, creative direction, graphic designer. Outside of Studio, I like to paint, knit, crochet. My favorite thing about working for Studio is the ability to be around like-minded people. And the work is cool. When I was first told about Studio, is the wood shop, the metal shop, and how they can take nothing and build it. That's what I've been around my whole life, so to have the opportunity to actually work here is pretty amazing. When I came onto Studio, Tom was sort of this unicorn. So you'd hear his voice, or you'd catch a glimpse of him, you just naturally wanted to be around him. His big smile. I loved to go into his office and kind of poke at him, see what he was working on, have him talk to me about past projects. I wanted to learn what he knew. this is his legacy. Everything. You feel him every day. When you sit down and you're starting a new project, it really is something in the back of your mind, like, would Tom like this? Would he think this is cool? You know, he was kind of a mentor to a lot of people, so you don't want to disappoint even though he's not around us anymore.
Back here at the Rock, approaching a century grind complete in the Rock Racing Batteries 250 on LSR TV. Those listening on CRN Sports, Wesley Outland, Brett Rolls, Charles Wooten in the production chair. Pace car getting ready to drop back onto the pit lane. We're ready to go back for the resumption here in the restart zone. It has been all Garrett Maines trying to now sweep both stage 1 and 2. He gets the whole shot. No problem on the restart. He'll pull away back to the lead in turn 1.
Yeah, it's going to be Garrett Maines with the whole shot. Take a look at the run that the 29 Asako gets coming out of turn 2. He's going to be right up on the back bumper of Maines as we roll down into turn number 3. Maines is going to get a little bit of an advantage as we roll out of turn number 4 and down to the front straightaway. We're going to be 3 wide at the back there for it looks like the 5th position. It looks like Matthew Lee, Brandon Gagnon, and Jason Maines, and throw Jared Mogard into that mix. So Mogard looking to make his run to the front on them fresh tires and get his lap back here as we got about 5 laps to the stage break here. So Wesley, keep an eye on that 00 Mogard as he is making progress here on the bottom there as you see him duck underneath, I believe, I can't tell who that truck is. He does not have a number on. It's just a black body on that machine. But Mogard, he's got a head of steam now to the back bumper of that 83 of Brandon Gagnon. So he's technically in position 5 right now, even though he's a lap down. So Mogard, he's showing like he's got the ability to do it. Oh, and Peyton Howell into the wall big time as we come down the front straightaway.
Peyton Howell bouncing off the safer wall barrier, exiting 4. He'll save it as they work their way back into turn number 2. Got to wonder how much damage is on that truck. Nonetheless, we will stay under the green flag.
Jared Mogard throwing that fishing line out. He has reeled in the 29 in Navarro. He is looking like he's going to be able to get it done here as we got 3 laps left in this stage as Garrett Maines is the only guy left in front of him, preventing him from being on that lead lap. So it looks like Mogard's strategy looking to pan out here. And Mogard, he's going to be within a truck length. He's going to come right up to the back bumper of Maines. Coming out of turn 4, he's going to dive down to the inside. He's going to have to get down on the apron to avoid contact with your race leader. So Mogard with his hands full as he's going to get to the inside of Maines. That's now going to take over for him there. So he's
And by the way, that puts him back on the lead lap. He literally fought by the leader Maines to get his lap back before the end of stage number 2 here, Brad, as they worked away out of turn 4.
Yeah, but don't look now. He's bringing that that 07 of Jared Torres with him. That 07 looking to do the same exact thing as Mogard is. Oh, there's a little bit of contact with your leader, Garrett Maines.
Saved it. Holy cow, he saved it at the end of stage number 2. Caution will fly, and he saves the truck and wins stage number 2.
What a drive by Garrett Maines to be able to hang on to that truck. And if you look at it, he's only got a little bit of damage on that left rear part of the spoiler, Wesley. So a huge sigh of relief, I imagine, for that number 1 Smithfield Elliott Sadler Esports truck.
And you know, the thing is this, nobody got into him. He lost it on his own. Watch it one more time. He never had anybody get into him. I know he had trucks around him. I know he got cleared by Mogard. I know Torres was coming on the inside. But, Brett, if you watch him when they come to the line to end stage number 2, he simply just had the truck come out from under him on his own. Look at this.
Yeah, looks like the truck just snapped loose on him there. Not sure what happened there. But, you know, definitely safe to say that he is breathing a little bit heavier there coming into pit road this time, as you see him get a really good gap over that 29 of Nicholas Sacco coming into the pits. So that's going to pretty much give him a nice little bit of cushion as far as the race off of pit road to hold on to that lead. But the thing you've got to wonder here, Wesley, is with all these guys coming down pit road, look who has stayed out on the racetrack.
Mogard.
That 00 of Mogard has inherited the race lead, I do believe, because I believe everybody in front of him on the track right now is a lap down. So there's going to be a bunch of guys that get their lap back, and I do believe that 00 is going to inherit the lead. So
Mogard and Jared Torres are the 2 trucks that were a lap down. They got their lap back. Mogard had to fight. He fought around Mains to get his lap back. Jared Torres was the truck on the tail end of the field a lap down. He got the free pass.
Absolutely. Like we like to say on the dirt side of things, Wesley, Mogard, he definitely threw it deep and sold her cheap there to get around Mains and get that lap back, as he pulled the trigger at the right time. As you see some more trucks coming down pit lane now, that is going to be the lap cars at the end of the field. So now we will definitely see if there's anybody in front of Jared Mogard that stayed out, as I do believe he is. Yes, Jared Mogard is going to be your race leader. The 07 of Jared Torres is going to be in second, and that number 1 of Garrett Mains is going to fall back to third. But here's the thing, Wesley. Mains just came in and pit. He's got fresh tires, so I give it about maybe a lap, and Garrett Mains, if not coming out of turn 2, is going to be right back in control of this thing.
A good show so far. Let's grab Jared Mogard real quick. Get his thoughts, as he's the man out in front leading the way. Jared, good strategy there. Talk about how you pulled it off, and you're the man out in front right now.
Yeah, we'll see how it works. I don't know. I'm not sold on it yet, but tire situation, we're looking good. So we'll see how this last 150 turns out here. Hopefully we played it right, but I don't know. I'm still unsure about it, but we'll see what happens.
I think suffice to say, and Brett, I think you will agree with me on this, if there was any other truck on the track that could probably hang with Garrett Mains, and you've proven it, it's you and the 00.
Yeah, we hung with them there that first run, and then we drove it a little too hard, and which I typically do. So I think we figured out some stuff, and like I said, we'll just see how the last 150 goes. Hopefully it worked out.
All right, that's Jared Mogard. Again, getting his thoughts, as he has right now put that 00 in the lead on strategy. The lights are off on the pace car. Brett Rolls, will get ready for the final stage. 145 laps to go when they take the green flag in stage number 3 of the Rock Racing Batteries 250.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting go of things, Wesley, as I'm not sure what happened to the 07 of Jared Torres, but I think he may have went in and pit again as we're getting ready to come to green. He was in second. He's towards the back of the pace of the field now. It looks like we're not going to go green. They're going to hold it off one more lap.
Yeah, they're going to call off the restart here. Something not right with timing and scoring is what I'm being told. And they're going to have to re-rack them and restack them again. The pace car will make his way back onto the racetrack. You'll see him catch the field. Here it comes.
3 wide, coming through 1 and 2.
And by the way, I want to remind you as well, the new livesimracing.com. The new livesimracing.com, updated, better than ever, for your home for sim racing. livesimracing.com. The new launch website should debut sometime this weekend or Monday. The new website. Man, I was thinking they were going to wait till the first of the year to launch that baby, but they're not. They've already got it pretty much completed, rocking and rolling. Ready to do this again on the restart box. Green in the air. Mogard catching Maines asleep at the wheel, like Maines has done several times. Stage 3 underway, and Mogard is gone.
Yeah, like father, like son. Both of the Maines family members, they both got caught sleeping. Jason more so worse than Garrett. As Jason was starting 4th, he's going to drop all the way to 6th now. He got caught up big time napping on that start. So somebody that we haven't really seen starting to make his way towards the front, having a little bit of a hiccup on that restart there in that number 2 machine. So Jason Maine's going to have to try to play catch up here off of that little bit of a slip up. But as of right now, Jared Mogard has a pretty good run up front, but take a look at who's right there on his bumper. That Toyota Tundra, Elliott Sadler Esports, number 1 of Garrett Maines, looking to take back over control of this race, but Jared Mogard's having absolutely none of it as you see him hug that bottom side through 1 and 2. He's not going to give him any bit of room to work with like we saw on the last time, but Garrett Maines going to take his shot. Mogard going to give him a little bit of space to breathe with, but don't look now, the 29's going to stick his nose in there as well, so Mogard going to possibly lose 2 positions on that lap, Wesley.
As he left the exit of the corner, that literally opened up the door for Mogard to let Maines get right back around him. And Garrett Maines back out in front. I mean, suffice to say, we've got some talented men in the world of iRacing. But this young kid, Garrett Maines, truly a talent. Definitely, whatever he gets in on the pavement world, and he's even ran some dirt stuff for a time or two, but everything he does on pavement, man, this kid excels in it. What a record he's got in this one.
Yeah, Garrett Maines, you know, we've talked to him time and time again here in the LSR TV booth for the top 3. And, you know, he's working towards that Pro Series right now. And, you know, like you see on your ticker, he's got his father, Jason Maines, out there who, you know, full-fledged 100% supports Garrett with everything he does here on iRacing. And, you know, he even gets on here and, you know, helps his son get better. And, you know, that's what makes the Maines family so special is, you know, that drive by not only the son to be, you know, one of the best on iRacing, but that father's love for his son to drive his son to be, you know, the number 1 on iRacing. And I dare say, you know, within the next year or 2, you're going to see Garrett Maines towards the front of them point standings in that Coca-Cola iRacing Pro Series.
Not a doubt about it. As they work their way back down the straightaway, Maines out in front. Another lap on the board. Remember, lap 125 will be officially halfway, and still have another 125 laps left to go. In race number 1 of Thursday, Truck Thunder. Coming up later tonight, we're going road course racing from Watkins Glen for the next round of the West Bay Napa Auto Parts playoffs. For the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. Tomorrow night, it is the All-Star Race. For the On the Rail Paints Fall Brawl. That'll be Friday night, Saturday night. Happy Halloween trick-or-treating for you. We'll take a spooky Saturday off. Well, I won't. We have real racing, but Sunday, we will come back later in the night. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, for the debut of the new season of the Joe's Racing Products Northwest Tour Super Late Model Series. And their debut, race 1, will be at USA International in Lakeland, Florida. That's all coming up in the next couple of days on your home for sim racing, LSR TV. And remember, if you can't watch it, you can listen live at work, at your office, laying in your bed, driving down the road at wearecrn.com. Look at this battle side by side for position as Matthew Lee starts to close in on these gentlemen as well as they hit the back straightaway. Edwards in that mix as well.
Ooh, looks like a slight little bit of contact there between Matthew Lee and Mogard as they come through the corner, but look who's right there to capitalize if anybody does make a little bit of contact. That number 2 of Jason Maines, he's going to get that position from Mogard, and now he's going to set his sights on that 04 of Matthew Lee. So both of these drivers starting to make their way towards the front as Matthew Lee finds himself inside the top 5 now. Jared Mogard falls back to 7th, put Jason Maines up to 6th, and Bladen Edwards has a rear bumper full of Matthew Lee. So Matthew Lee now going to take a dive to the inside. He's going to take over that 4th position, and he's going to bring Maines in tow as well, as he's going to be able to stick his nose underneath him. So Matthew Lee and Jason Maines, almost looks like these two are working in tandem here, Wesley, as these two are powerhousing back to the front.
Yeah, it looked like for a second Bladen Edwards had a really, really strong truck. Now he'll follow under his teammate, Radford, Virginia's Peyton Howell. Pensacola, Florida, Bladen Edwards there. And they're in 5th and 6th on the racetrack, or 6th and 7th, actually.
Look who's been able to rebound after having a little bit of an issue. That number 11 truck of Peyton Howell. You saw him earlier on just before the segment ended. He took a hard hit into that front straightaway wall. Looks like under that stage brake, he came in and had the crew beat out some of that sheet metal. So that 11 car of Peyton Howell, he's making some progress here as he's back up to outside the top 5 in that 6th position, and he's starting to track down that number 2 of Jason Maines. So that swag Race for Hope number 11, he's got a pretty good machine considering the damage, even though it, this isn't really a track that has much aerodynamic advantage. So I guess that's the one thing playing to Peyton's good side right now as he continues trying to run down this top 5 as we near lap 124 coming into the books this time by. We got a slower truck on the outside. Is Matthew Lee going to have to take some evasive actions in that 4th spot to miss that?
Maines out in front, Matthew Lee. There you see his truck. He's in the 04. He is in 4th right now in the studio displays entry. Hey, by the way, don't forget every Tuesday night, it is the studio displays Super Late Model Dirt Series round 4. Next Tuesday night will be at the dirt track at Charlotte. Brett, you run a lot on the dirt. You think Charlotte might give you a chance to get a W?
Yeah, we've had some some bad luck with the studio displays Super Late Model Series. We had a bad qualifying effort with hitting the wall at Volusia, and then we stepped on it pretty hard at Lernerville going for 3rd, and Fairbury, well, that doesn't really play favorites to anybody with how tight a racing that is. So looking to turn things around at Charlotte, as I think that might be a track that plays favorite to us with everything that's been going. We've had some pretty good runs, but if you think the Thursday night racing has been pretty good, you guys are definitely going to want to check out that studio display Super Late Model Series that Swag puts on Tuesday nights as well. You got the likes of World of Outlaw late model driver for Chris Ferguson. You've got former iRacing World of Outlaw champion Blake Majulis. You've got former pro Drew Hopkins. Tons of talent, tons of really good, big, notable dirt names over there on that side as well. It's pretty much like what you see here with the asphalt. You got the best of the best guys here on the asphalt. The same thing goes with the dirt side of Swag as well. These guys really know how to put together a series, and so far so good, as it's been some pretty good racing so far.
And a pretty controversial finish last Tuesday night at Falls between Ryan Underwood and the proverbial winner of Nick Cooper. Getting together there on that last lap. All bets are off. They made contact coming across the finish line, crashing, and gave the win to the man out of Waterloo, New York for Team D1RT. His second Team D1RT victory along with Majulis. And, of course, Drew Hopkins won round 2 at Lernerville. What a wreck fest that was. And then we turned around and went to Fairbury last Tuesday night. And Nick Cooper winning that one. We're to the dirt track at Charlotte. That will be coming up for round 4 of the Studio Display Swag Super Late Model Dirt Series on LSR TV and CRN Sports on Tuesday night.
As we go back out front here, the 29 of Nicholas Sacco. He's been able to reel in that number 1 of Garrett Maines, as he's only gotten to about maybe 2 truck lengths in between the two of them now. The official time last time by was .244 of a gap, as we're going to have a caution. So some early race stage or cautions for the final stage here, as we get some yellow back onto the racetrack here at lap 132.
Just after halfway. Caution coming out. We'll find out what happened. Swag replay. Looks like it's Ronninger in the 5 machine. Problems for Jason Rominger. Or maybe not.
As it looks like Kieran Church has just took his truck to the garage, so not sure if maybe Kieran Church had gotten involved in that or not, but I just noticed he took his truck back behind the wall, Wesley.
We're lost. Not sure what the caution was through for. We're just after halfway.
We're going to have to get Cody Wooten to bust out that protractor again. I think somebody broke that 47 degrees, Wesley.
45 degrees.
Oh, you know, sometimes you got to push it to the limits a little bit.
Tomatoes, potatoes. Garrett Maines, no problems in his pit box this time. Pit stall 1, Mogard right behind him, 1 stall back. It's going to be 4 tires and fuel, it looks like, for both, as Maines is off pit lane. His father right behind him. And by the way, Sacco, Lee, Edwards did not pit. Neither did Kendall or Torres. Gonna see if these guys pit now. But a couple of them dropping off the pit lane. And remember, they only got 1 set of tires left. That's right, you only got 1 set of tires left. This race started with 3 sets, which includes the set that they started the race on, plus 2 extra sets on the pit lane during this 250 lap contest. And again, they've used them up here. They got to be conservative on tire wear as well as fuel conservation as well here. We're just after halfway in this race though, Brett.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how everybody plays out with tire stops. You know, you saw Jared Mogard take a 2-tire stop earlier, so, you know, different fuel strategies, different tire strategies, all going to play out within the next 120 laps here. It's going to be pretty interesting to see who really makes out here and who you know, sells things just a little bit short on their guessing games. As honestly, right now, I did pick Jason Maines to pick this race, but as far as
we found, our production crew found the replay of why we're under caution, and there it is, Navarro into Peyton Howell.
And you called it, Wesley, or actually it did look like he's going to save it. So yeah, we're going to have to bust out that protractor, because we broke that we broke the degree of sidewaysness twice here in this 135 laps that we've marked down so far.
Shades a lot closer. Shades of that battle we saw, and of course where we saw that truck get sideways, we also saw the happen to Garrett Maines there. And by the way, we've got swag drivers, we've got Phantom Racing drivers, and suffice to say this without trying to start anything in the broadcast though, Brett, could we start to see a rivalry brew between some drivers on different teams?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, just from my side with the dirt stuff, I mean, you know, you got guys, you know, really good teams like Swindell Speed Labs, D1RT, you know, HRE Motorsports, Team BLR. You got a whole bunch of dirt teams that definitely are not afraid of letting their opinions known to their other teams, whether it be on the track or over the microphone a couple of times here and there. So I can only imagine we have the same thing developing on the asphalt side of stuff as well. You know, honestly, I'd like to even say that we have a little bit of a rivalry developing in the dirt side of swag between the number 1 and number 2 spot from Fairbury, between Nick Cooper and Ryan Underwood, because I gotta tell you right now, just from what I've been hearing after the race was over from Tuesday night, Underwood was not happy with that. So I can only imagine, you know, we got some rivalries brewing, as both of these series, the dirt and the asphalt, are very long seasons. And you know, when you put up with some driver for like 16 plus races, you know, tempers run hot and definitely short, as not a lot of give and take gets considered when, you know, you get tempers flaring, Wesley.
And I'm a firm believer of we need rivalries. Rivalries are good for racing. Brett Tucker having a bad luck here tonight in the 99 truck. Normally he picks them up and puts them down in the NASRA series. Not tonight though. Understanding Bladen Edwards in the 72 out of Pensacola, Florida. He's having connection issues. Dropping like a fly down the scoring pylon.
Take a look.
Billy Smith Jr. also having problems.
Take a look who's at the top of the board, though, Wesley. We talked to this driver a little bit earlier in the broadcast. He's come down right along with Garrett Maines on that last pit strategy, but he's been able to get through the traffic very quick compared to Maines. As you see Maines back in that 5th position, Mogard trying to extend this lead and get a little bit of a gap over the rest of the pack, as this time past the line, he's going to open up that lead over the 99er Rhett Tucker to 0.8 of a second. So Mogard trying to do his best Garrett Maines impression and pull out over this lead as we come to about 10 laps shy of that 100 lap to go mark, Wesley.
Yeah, and you know, I mentioned Rhett Tucker, the NASRA ARCA champion or the Truck Series champion right there. 99 machine, he's out in front. He's in that 2nd position. He struggled a lot beginning in this race earlier, and you know, picked his time, stayed out of trouble. And the RTR entry is now in 2nd. Mogard, and I said this earlier, if there's any driver that can hold off Garrett Maines, it is Jarrett Mogard. He showed his strengths earlier. He showed it, as a matter of fact, at the end of stage 2, when he literally ran back down the 1, cleared the 1 before they even threw the caution flag at the end of stage 2, before Maines actually went in a fishtail spin on the cool down lap when they threw the yellow. And he is out in front, and he has already got a big lead over Tucker and Torres. Critchley, Sacco, top 5. And then it is Garrett Maines in 6th.
And, you know, Wesley, you mentioned Garrett Maines getting into that wall there early on. I wonder if he's got a little bit of unsuspected damage from that, because that truck has just not looked the same as far as performance-wise. We've seen him be able to gap that 29 of Nicholas Sacco as the caution comes back out on lap 145. So another caution.
Believe it's Mike Adamson out of Sanford, Florida, possibly in the 46, what we're hearing. We'll check her out and we'll see our production truck trying to find it. And there you see Adamson off the course. And the caution had already came out there, so I'm literally contemplating, okay, it's not Mike Adamson. In the words of the song by The who are you?
I'm still looking around as well, and I don't see anything myself. Not sure exactly what may have brought that caution out, Wesley.
Understanding that Bladen Edwards was disqualified.
I wonder if the incident point disqualification could be the same said for the 00 of Billy Smith Jr. Because I've noticed both of them have tried to come back into the server, and doesn't look like
it's not letting them
either
in.
one of them. I mean, it possibly lets them back in, but I don't think it's going to let them back out onto the track. So I think that's the issue that those guys were having with leaving the server and coming back in. So I think Billy Smith Jr. may have fallen a victim to the incident point DQ as well.
So, do you pit? You're Mogard. You're out in front. Your strategy is good. Doing what he needs to do. I think he's got one more set of tires left. Do you pit now as we approach 105 remaining?
I think you ride this fuel tank out and save them tires for later in the race. Mogard was looking to stretch that field there. He was almost out to about a 1-second lead, and looks like Garrett Maines was struggling over the course of this second half, or the first half of this 150 lap stretch. So not sure if that's due to maybe some issues from getting into the wall, or if maybe he's just playing it safe and taking things easy right now, trying to save those tires and a little bit of fuel towards the end of this stretch here. But as of right now, Mogard's sitting pretty in that hot bird seat up on the pole. Right now is the advantage that he needs to take advantage of. He needs to be able to get out in front of this field, put a little bit of a gap in between him and the rest of the field, just in case we do get a green flag pit stop, and just to give him a little bit more of a cushion, because that number 1 and number 2 sitting back in positions 8 and 9, or excuse me, 8 and 9. That's Garrett and Jason Maines. Both of those drivers are pretty good competitors and nothing to shake a stick at. So, those two Elliott Sadler Esports cars are going to try to be coming to the front, as well as that 04 of Matthew Lee that's currently sitting 10th. He's had a top 5 truck all day long, and he's been pretty fast. So keep your eye, as we got a couple of really fast trucks towards the back here as we get ready to restart, Wesley.
Thursday Truck Thunder coming up in less than over an hour. Almost an hour and 15 minutes from right now, 11:45 Eastern, with coverage of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series Round 2 of the West Bay Napa Auto Parts Playoffs from Watkins Glen. Last caution was involved with Billy Weeks and Jade Franklin. Our production truck was able to find that, but unfortunately was not able to grab a replay. But it was Billy Weeks and Jade Franklin that brought us under yellow flag. Green back in the air. We are approaching 100 laps to go. Let's do an extended kick in the asphalt from the Rock with the Swag SMI Truck Series. Here they roar to the backstretch. Back here at Rockingham, under 100 laps to go. A century grind remains here in the Rock Batteries 250. And Mogard out in front in the 00, coming back from a lap down. Tucker from Nazareth doing well. He's in second. followed by another good run by Critchley. By the way, the Daytona winner, Curtis Critchley, there you see him. He's in third. And we are under 100 to go here now. Brett, it should be a good one.
Yeah, this is setting up to be a really good race as Rhett Tucker starting to reel in Jared Mogard ever so slightly here. Mogard just a little bit faster that time back, so your top two trucks exchanging quick times here on the racetrack. Not really losing, not really gaining ground, as those trucks are pretty much idle with the gap that they've got in between them. But take a look who's inside your top five, Wesley. That 83 of Brandon Gagnon. He had some issues earlier on in this race towards the first stage, and he's battled back now to that top five running position. He's currently about 2 seconds behind your race leader. He's got a little bit of damage, but for the most part, that 83 Studio Displays sponsored truck, he's sitting pretty in that top five running order right now. He's looking to regain some composure from that hiccup on the dirt side of things Tuesday night. But as of right now, Brandon Gagnon looks to have that Toyota Tundra rocking and rolling now as he's trying to chase down that 07 of Jared Torres as we come into turns 1 and 2 this time by to put lap 157 down.
The PMI Truck Series round number 3 here tonight from the Rockingham Speedway, the Rock Batteries 250. We're going to go side by side so you don't miss a thing. Coverage continues on LSR TV and CRN Sports. Mogard, let's take a look at your saw blade top 5 as we are under 100 to go here at the Rock. Under 100 laps to go. Well, I've said that probably the last 3 or 4 times, and those laps are continuing to tick away. Working now under 90 to go. Can I say that? 88 to go, something like that. Welcome back to coverage of the PMI Truck Series, sanctioned by the Simulation World Auto Group from Rockingham. It's the Rock Racing Batteries 250. On your home for sim racing, LSR TV. I'm Wesley Outland in Durham, North Carolina, about to get the remnants of what is Hurricane Zeta. Wind is picking up. It is lightning outside. If I get struck by lightning or if we get knocked offline, Brett, you know what happened.
Absolutely.
He's in Tennessee. He's already had to deal with the hurricane, the wind and the rain.
Yeah.
And my poor buddy Charles Wooten, he got stuck in Low Limits, Texas with 4 days of this mess.
Yeah, we were dealing with it here down in Tennessee on our racing night Tuesday for the Swag Super Late models. So, yeah, it's definitely nice to be out clear, but you know, you definitely need to keep yourself nice and dry and away from all the elements as everything rolls in your way here. And right
Battle
now,
for the
Wesley,
lead.
yes, absolutely.
Critchley to the inside.
Curtis Critchley, he's having a strong run. He came out of absolutely nowhere to take over that lead. He almost took the front nose off of Mogard there as he went into 1 and 2, almost throwing like a dirt track slider on Mogard there. So that 54 of Curtis Critchley, he's showing a lot of speed. And also another driver that's pretty impressive right now, the driver that was involved in the last caution, Wesley, the 31 of Jade Franklin, they are all the way back up to the top 5 right now. They're running in 5th position, trying to get around that 07 of Jared Torres, and they've got the 99 of Rhett Tucker right in front of them. So Jade Franklin, within a matter of a couple of laps, could have went from being involved in the caution to the top 3 podium. Oh, a little bit of contact there between Jared Torres and the 99 of Rhett Tucker. That's going to send Tucker into the wall. He's going to lose wholesale positions here, as that's going to move the 07 up to 3rd, and a whole bunch of people are going to get around him, as that's going to drop Rhett Tucker from that 3rd running spot all the way down to 9th. He almost fell outside the top 10, Wesley.
Wow. Talk about pushing it to the limit. The talent, the Daytona winner, Critchley, now out in front. Mogard falling back to 2nd. But my question is this, though. Brett, do you think Mogard backed away and let Critchley take the lead because he knows he's going to have to battle him again later? They're going to have to pit. Bottom line, all these guys are going to have to pit, whether it's a green flag pit stop or we get a caution and they come in for the money stop.
It's like I've pointed out earlier in the broadcast, Jared Mogard, he's all around, he's probably one of the smartest drivers that I know. You know, he really takes all aspects of the race into consideration throughout the course from start to finish. And honestly, right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see if maybe he's laid back off the throttle a little bit, try to save them tires. As currently right now, this time around, let's check out the lap times between your top 2. Jared Mogard with a 24.636 and Curtis Critchley with a 24.644. So it looks like Jared Mogard may have dropped back a little bit and you know, just let this 54 run off some of that extra grip that he had on those tires. But it looks like these drivers are pretty much even now, but Curtis Critchley still gapping Mogard a little bit each time. So it's going to be a pretty good battle between these top 2, it looks like, as we get closer to maybe a green flag pit stop here, as we get 72 laps into this green flag run. Not sure when the last time everybody came down pit road for fuel and tires there, Wesley, but as we get closer to lap 175, it looks like the top couple of cars starting to stretch out. And one thing that I've noticed, Wesley, if you take a look through the ticker, our picks not really doing too hot through this long green flag run. Garrett Maines in the one car, a car that's absolutely dominated the first half of this race, he's fallen all the way back to the 12th position, and his father, the 2 of Jason Maines, he's fallen all the way back to the 15th position. So a couple of the big name contenders that we had thought to see up front towards the end of this race starting to have some troubles as we near this lap 175 mark.
Approaching what would be the final 75 laps of this event here in the Rock Racing Batteries 250. Mogard, a little loose off the exit of the corner, trying to reel in Critchley. Navarro, problems earlier in the race, really proud of him. He's now back into 3rd. Franklin also. Bolton, trucks we mentioned with problems earlier or a lap down, they're in the top 5. Bolton trying to get around Franklin for that spot now for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, I think everybody that was a lap down pretty much went right along with Jared Mogard and his strategy there towards the end of that second segment. As you just pointed out, everybody that is inside the top 5 or the top 10 right now, for that fact, was all one lap down at one point in this race. So pretty interesting to see how these guys have, you know, gone complete full circle, and how this strategy has paid off for all these guys using the stage racing to their advantage.
Critchley out in front in that 54 truck, sponsored by PMI, Pavement Marking LLC, the title sponsor of the series. He won a wild one at Daytona, which, by the way, sent Maines crashing, coming to the start-finish line through the tri-oval. and it gave the win to Critchley in 54. Round number 2 last week at Atlanta, the Color Street 250 saw the driver of Garrett Main's win. And now he's trying to repeat, but right now, Critchley now trying to be the second winner on the series.
Mogard's starting to fall off in his truck as he's now going to fall all the way back to that 5th position as the 04 of Matthew Lee now dives to the inside of him down the back straightaway and into turn number 3. So Mogard's starting to fall back as you see the 7 truck of Derek Fulton and the 04 of Matthew Lee get around him here coming down the front straightaway. I almost wonder, Wesley, if we're going to see that Jared Mogard machine start making his way down pit road here in the next 20 laps or so. He's starting to look like maybe those tires are starting to fall off, and maybe some time for his green flag pit stops to start taking place here.
Navarro now going to the lead. Critchley falling back to 3rd, to 4th. Navarro in the 42 now to the lead. Fulton will go to 2nd from Centre, Ontario, Canada for Phantom Graphics. Matthew Lee back to 3rd. Critchley.
And they got some heavy lap traffic right in front of them, Wesley. They got the 2 of Garrett Maines' father, Jason Maines. And I believe, if I can get a good look at that number, that's the 46 machine. That's Michael Adamson as well. So your top 5 trucks starting to get into lap traffic here. And Andrew Navarro just slicing and dicing past people like it's his job. But he's still got that 7 of Derek Fulton hooked onto that back bumper in full tow. Derek Fulton looking like he's got a hot truck here as we near this last 70 laps here at the Rockingham Speedway in North Carolina. So lap 183 about to come to a close, lap 184 about to go on the board, and Andrew Navarro has taken the lead here, and it looks like he's starting to gap the field a little bit as he's starting to pull away from that 7 of Derek Fulton. And Jared Mogard still running back in 5th. He's starting to catch up to the back of Curtis Critchley now. So the top 5 trucks starting to catch back up to each other and get back into pack racing after they get through that battle of lap cars there.
Want to send a very special happy birthday to one of my racing friends that runs up at Lakeview Motor Speedway and Fayetteville Motor Speedway this weekend. She celebrated her birthday today, as a matter of fact. 33 years old. Chelsea Richardson, driver of the pink number 86 SCDRA front-wheel drive car. Happy birthday. I know she is tuning in. Wish you a happy birthday and many, many more. Hope to see you at a race again sometime soon down in South Carolina. As Navarro, we set the stage here. Navarro leading the way in that truck number 42. Derek Fulton in 2nd, Matthew Lee 3rd. Curtis Critchley, who led a big amount of laps earlier, has fallen back to 4th. Jared Mogard, the same in the top 5. Torres is 6th, Jake Franklin 7th. Brandon Gagnon with problems earlier in the race, he fell back to 8th. Garrett Maines, the same thing for the Dominator in stages 1 and 2. The fast qualifier falls back to 9th, and Billy Weeks is currently in the top 10. Brett Tucker 11th, Troy DeCare 12th, Nicholas Sacco, another strong run for him, though now he's mired back at 13th. Ryan Kendall, Jason Maines, your pick right now in the top 15, and the laps continue to tick away as we approach lap 200 in about another 13 laps.
Absolutely. And Ryan Kendall, speaking of him, that number 68, he is the next truck up on the chopping block as the 42 of Andrew Navarro is starting to chase him down extremely fast. Both drivers are in turns 3 and 4. Navarro going to have a huge run of gas.
Whoa!
As the 68 going to dive down to the infield. I believe he may just be getting out of the way for the leaders. Ryan Kendall going to take it down pit side as he's going to go a lap down. This may be his scheduled cycle for green flag pit stops, so keep an eye open, Wesley, as we're getting just about to that sweet spot where we might see drivers come in and start making pit strategies.
I think they're going to have to. I think they're going to have to, because literally they've used up their virtual rubber or their fuel has consumptionally ran out, so they have to come down and pit. And it's probably going to be under the green flag, because we literally got everybody spread out all over the racetrack. We're seeing Navarro pick him up and put him down. This is the battle for the lead, however. Navarro and Lee Fulton also in this mix. This is second and third, and Matthew Lee just cleared Fulton for second. But when do they come down to the pit lane? 60 laps to go. They're going to have to pit here.
We only got 13 trucks on the lead lap as of right now. If we were to get a caution, your current lucky dog, I believe, would be the number 2 of Jason Maines. Going to be kind of interesting to see how fuel strategy and pit strategies play out. If some of these drivers that are a lap down or maybe 2 laps down try to maybe stretch something out in efforts to get a caution flag and possibly change their luck around for this race. But over the course of the last maybe 15-20 laps, it has been all Andrew Navarro, as he looks like he's got the fastest truck on the racetrack right now, as he's got a couple of tenths advantage over the majority of this field. The only cars that are, or the trucks that are really hanging on to those kind of lap times is himself, Matthew Lee, and Derek Fulton, the cars or trucks in the top 3. Jared Mogard looks to be just about maybe about a tenth or 2 off of their lap time. So these top 3 trucks look like they still have a little bit of rubber left on these trucks tires, so going to be interesting to see how far they can stretch this, Wesley. Is doesn't look like they've been pushing too hard throughout the course of the beginning half here. They may be trying to tick this down to maybe get some fresh rubber on that around lap 210, 220 and make this a short little sprint to the end.
And by the way, don't forget, coming up in over an hour, we now continue our coverage from Rockingham for the SMI, or for the PMI Swag Truck Series. Keep thinking I'm at Charlotte for SMI, Speedway Motorsports Incorporated. The PMI Truck Series, sanctioned by Swag. And then coming up later tonight, the West Bay Napa Auto Parts Playoffs, round 2 for the trucks. And that will be at Watkins Glen. They'll be making left turns and right turns and S's and chicanes and boots and carousels and all of those analogies that we use in the world of the road course terminologies. Will be on the call. Greg Rentz, myself. And again, that'll be coming up here in about an hour from now. Just after 11:45 Eastern time. If we do go over the time limit for this race, we will have to kill the feed. And if that happens, we will just have to tell you to find out what happens by reading the article that LSR TV will now be doing, writing press releases. Charles Wooten going to be getting carpal tunnel later tonight. He's got to write 2 stories.
Yeah, some big things.
I tried to offer my services. I could knock out a story in less than 30 minutes. I do it all the time at racetracks across the country, but unfortunately, he just, left me on the side of the curb, as they call it. Do you
well, hey,
Go ahead,
hey.
Brett. What were you gonna say? If we could just hear what
I'm telling you, if only they could hear what we hear, Wesley. It's funny, but he hit it right on the head there.
50 to go. Next time by the way.
The pocketbook is definitely a factor to keep into consideration, and knowing our producer Cody Wooten, he definitely is one of those.
I am a valuable commodity, though. I have a precision, speed of aerodynamics, and I love that movie, by the way, too. Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is...
Yes, he surely did. Matt Lee, Maines held him up there. Navarro back to the lead. Lee could not get down and run Navarro for that spot.
Lee's looking like he's got a really good run developing through the corners, though. It looks like that's where he's making up most of his time on Navarro. I think Navarro used up the majority of what was left on his tires trying to get that gap of the lead out, because Matthew Lee is coming and in a hurry on the back bumper of that 42 of Navarro. I wouldn't be surprised to see Matthew Lee possibly inherit the lead here before we see these green flag pit stops, Wesley.
I think they're going to be coming down to the pit lane probably in the next 10 laps. I'm thinking around 2:12 to 2:15, we're going to see green flag pit stops unless we get a caution flag. You think that's about right, Brett?
Everything's looking pretty clear right now. Wesley is currently on the track, the 41 of Troy DeCare. He just went a lap down. He let Navarro and Matthew Lee by, so a lot of drivers playing the respect game right now. They're not really trying to race the lead guys. They realize this isn't their race to win tonight, so that just goes to show you, the character behind the talent that we have here in the Swag Series for both, not only the dirt that I'm accustomed to, but here on the asphalt as well. But my interest is not with the 04 or the 42. Right now, the driver that's got my eye is currently that 54 of Curtis Critchley. He's kind of backed out a little bit there towards the end of this segment. It looks like he may be saving tires to get down to this last green flag run like you were talking, Wesley. So I'd be interested to keep an eye on that 54 of Critchley as you see him have to check up there as Mogard and that 00 and the 07 of Jared Torres got just a slight bit of contact there. He had to get on the binders real quick not to create a big cluster. And that's going to cause the 46 machine of Michael Adamson, who's a lap truck. He skyrockets to the outside, almost gets it into the wall, Wesley. So looks like a lot of this rubber starting to fall off. So I wouldn't be too surprised if you're right on the money here and we start seeing these green flag pit stops coming down, as we got one truck coming down pit lane right now.
Oh, and Brett, guess where we're at next week, my friend?
Oh, I can only imagine with this series. We go pretty much anywhere.
You mentioned dirt.
Oh, are we at the famed Eldora for the swag version of the Eldora Truck Derby?
We will be at Eldora Speedway next Thursday night. I'm going to have to make it a point to try to get away from the broadcast booth at East Alabama Motor Speedway for my announcing duties of the 46 National 100 to try to call that race. It's only practice night. I might be able to get a free pass.
I tell you, I might have to do.
Brett Tucker's out at 99.
I may have to do a one-off next week here and go play with these boys in some dirt.
You gonna bail on me? You gonna leave me in the booth by myself?
No, I wouldn't say bail. I mean, we'll definitely figure something out. I won't leave you high and dry if we don't have somebody to fill in.
Reporter. Yeah.
If we don't have somebody to fill in,
Charles
I'll be right
in the
by
booth.
your
Well,
side.
Charles call a race in the dirt. Here come the leaders on pit road. Mogard pulls in.
It looks like Mogard's going to be the only one out of that top 10 so far to pull in. He's going to take that 00 pit side as the 42 of Matthew Lee stay out. So
Caution!
And caution flag. It's going to trap Mogard on the pit lane.
He's not going to pit. I think he's going to roll back out.
Mogard's going to continue through the pits. He's gonna come right back out.
That's what I figured. I think his crew said, do not pit. Go back out on the racetrack. We got a caution. Nicholas Sacco, problems for the swag, number 29. The driver out of Bushkill, Pennsylvania. Watched him off turn 4. Through the tri-oval, crossing the stripe. And right here, he lost it. Watch this. Oh,
Looks
wow,
like,
right into Rominger's truck.
I don't know, Wesley. By the way the things look, it looks like he came up a little bit, but it almost looks like the truck on the outside of him. I didn't really catch that number there. I believe it was the number 5. Looks like he may have gotten into the wall and came down into the right rear at the same time as that 29 was coming up. So, going to be pretty interesting as you see him roll the high side here. Keep an eye on him. I think he catches contact with the wall right there, and that just shoots him down into the right rear of Sacco. So the 29, who had been really fast all night, has some late race chaos here on lap 211. So
and by the way, they're on the pit lane. The leaders are pitting.
And that's going to put Jared Mogard and Nicholas Sacco both a lap down. So Jared Mogard, disaster striking for him, as Lady Luck is not going to be on his side. He had everything planned out perfect, and I honestly do believe, Wesley, he had the pit strategy that was going to win this race just by how everything had played out up to this point. But Mogard going to have to get some way to get back on the lead lap and be able to get back to the front within 40 laps to even have contention at this race win.
And I would say this, don't count him out just yet. By the way, I figured they would get around 210 to 215. Well, when the caution came out, it was on lap 210. They're on the pit lane.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to count out Jared Mogard. You know, like we saw him do at the right before the end of that second stage. This is the kind of driver that'll come in, put 4 tires on this truck, and have this thing going like it's never gone before. I wouldn't doubt to see him make a good effort here at getting his lap back. But it looks like right now, I do believe, yes, the 04 of Matthew Lee gonna inherit the lead in that GTR Studio Displays sponsored 04. So Matt Lee looking like the hot rod here tonight, as he's been up front and had a fast truck so far. We're gonna try to pull him up here in the booth for a quick word.
Yeah, we do. By the way, Clan War Servers, the official sponsor of Driver Communication. Clan War Servers, the official communications partner of Live Sim Racing. Matt Lee, it's Wesley in the LSR TV CRM broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Got you, guys.
Hey, man, good strategy. Is that what you wanted to do? Get that caution, stay out in front, come to the pits, and still come out as the leader?
No, I did not want to see a caution at all because I'm out of tires and everyone else behind me's got tires. So
no,
we're going to go to the back pretty quickly here.
Obviously, you're going to try to fight them off, though, right?
Well, we're going to try, but yeah, I'm on like 50 lap old tires, so they're going to have their way with me.
All right, well, we'll definitely see what happens here. All that lead that Matt Lee had now gone. Bolton to his outside. And we'll get ready to set him up for the restart. But for the most part, Matt, a good race for you. Had some problems at the get-go. You brought out the second caution with an accident with your partner, Brandon Gagnon. But after that, you've pretty much rallied back to the front.
Yeah, we've had a solid race. Was looking good there. Tried some strategy in the middle, but it doesn't look like it's going to pay out now. But still, decent race for us.
All right, there's Matt Lee. We'll see what he can do here. Sounding like he has ran out of tires. That's going to hurt him. We'll see what he can do here as they work their way back for the restart. Under 37 to go, 36 remaining now. The Rock Racing Batteries 250. And Matt Lee, he might not have any tires left, but right now he's showing signs of being out in front. But here comes Torres on the inside, looking to try to lead for the first time tonight.
Torres, Fulton, and Brandon Gagnon. Oh, we're going to have
3 wide contact.
We're going to have some hot and heavy racing going on here as they try to get around the 04 of Matthew Lee with old tires, as so far the only one that's been able to do it is the 07 of Jared Torres, and that is not helping matters for any of these drivers right now. Is Brandon Gagnon going to drop to the bottom? Matt Lee's going to go to the top and let them by. You got about 6 cars underneath the blanket there for position number 3, Wesley. Things are getting hot and heavy. Katie barred the door. We're going to have a barn burner here at Rockingham.
And you saw what happened to Matt Lee, like a rag doll from the penthouse to the outhouse. In the wall goes Franklin, bouncing off the concrete. He'll hold on to that position in the top 5. But here comes Navarro, Fulton, Critchley, all closing in to run him down and smother him as they come to the tri-oval.
And look who's back inside the top 3. That Smithfield Elliott Sadler Esports truck, that number 1 of Garrett Maines. This driver's had an up and down race all night, Wesley. He dominated the first 100 laps. Then he got a little bit loose coming through 1 and 2. Backed that truck up into the wall just a little bit. Looked like he had a little bit of damage that he had to come down and get fixed. But Garrett Maines looks like he's got that hot rod back underneath his control, and he's hard charging towards the front.
32 laps to go. Into turn number 3, there's Garrett Maines. Trying to run down now Gagnon, who is in second. Jared Torres, who one time was 2 laps down, comes back through the pack. He's in the lead. Trying to make it now the 3rd different winner in 3 events for the PMI Swag Truck Series. Back across the stripe. Go ahead.
Brandon Gagnon looking like he's got a little bit of patience there, not really looking to push the issue right now, but he's got a very hard charging Garrett Maines who's looking to go back-to-back wins, coming down and breathing down his back bumper. As you see, Maines running just a little bit lower on the track than the 2 trucks in front of him. Not really sure if that's playing a beneficiary to him or the 2 trucks in front, as I think Maines might be using a little bit more rubber than those guys in front of him here. But knowing Maines and the talent that he's got, that driver knows exactly what he's doing. And it looks like he's just trying to set these 2 up and give them a little bit of room, barring a little bit of contact. But Maines looks like he's got one fast piece. And now look at Navarro on the back bumper of Maines as he's looking to come back to the front. Navarro practically pushing Maines down the front straightaway and into turn number 1. These 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place drivers look to be a little bit faster than Torres on the front end of this racetrack, as Maines now up to the back bumper of Brandon Gagnon down the back straightaway. He's going to go bonsai to the bottom. He's going to go all the way down to the yellow line and come up. It's going to cost Brandon Gagnon 2 spots now, as Navarro's going to stick his nose underneath him. He's going to have him just about clear at the line, and he's going to have that position 3 at the entry of turn number 1, so put Navarro back to the top 3.
And here comes Maines back to 2nd. Navarro 3rd. Gagnon will fall back to 4th. Critchley now to 5th, and they're still running down the leader of Jared Torres. Here they come through the triangle at Rockingham. Torres out in front. Here comes Maines. He's looking for the lead on the bottom in 1 and 2.
Yeah, Maines has a really strong entry into the corner, but it looks like Torres is using that high side to his advantage just a little bit more. Maines is taking more of a sharp angled entry into the corner, and it looks like the 07 of Torres is able to use a little bit more angle and get a little bit of a better momentum going on the exit of the corner here. You see Maines dive down to the inside of turn 1, but you see Torres start to pull away off the exit, so not sure if Maines is giving it everything he's got to try to get around Torres, but the more he tries to reel in the 07, the more that's allowing Navarro to get to the back bumper of that number 1 Toyota Tundra machine, as we come back around to put lap number 227 on the board. So we're about 34 laps away to the end of this race here, Wesley. Things are starting to get hot and heavy up here at the front, and currently right now Torres is still your race leader, but Garrett Maines doing everything he can to try to track him down.
By the way, we're under 25 laps to go. Maines on the inside, looking for the lead at the stripe. Give it to Torres. Maines back to P1. Scoring just updated. Give him the ticker to the 1 in P1. Torres will fall back to 3rd down. Navarro clears him on the inside. He'll carry Gagnon and Critchley with him. Up the racetrack goes Torres. He'll fan back out, get single file. Critchley stuck on the bottom. And the 4 truck single file. Critchley back to the bottom for 5th.
As we see the 5 drivers all in a group here, and the more that they do battle for positions 2, 3, 4, and 5, the more that plays to Garrett Mains's hand. You know, in that rearview mirror, this is exactly what he wants to see. He wants to see these drivers get a little bit hot and heavy racing side by side, because all that does is allow him to be able to stretch that gap out a little bit more. But so far, all these drivers have noticed, you know, we're just going to keep this as a single file racing right now, try to keep this gap down to the end. You know, maybe we can run him down. Oh, as we have a car coming down to the pit lane right in front of your leaders. That almost took the front end of Garrett Mains's number 1 right off, as he just barely got down to the pit lane road.
Is that Torres, I believe? No. Adamson, Mike Adamson from Sanford, Florida on the pit lane in the 76 machine. We're going to go side by side. 20 laps to go here at the Rock in the Rock Racing Batteries 250. Here's your saw blade top 5. You're not going to miss a thing. We'll take you to the checkered flag commercial free when we return from the Rock. Coming up on 15 to go here at the Rock. You haven't missed a thing. There's been a couple of battles, some thrills and spills and chills, but no cautions yet. 15 remaining. Garrett Mains exiting off the corner, ready to bring this one on home for supper or a late night snack, if you will. In the Rock Racing Batteries 250. Navarro, Critchley, Gagnon, Torres, all praying, honestly, for a visit by the Banana Republic flag. And if you do not know what that color is, it is yellow. Try to bunch them up for a late race restart here, Brett.
Yeah, there's a couple of drivers out there that would possibly need that caution flag just to have a hopeful of getting their lap back. That'd be the 04 Matthew Lee and the 00 Jared Mogard. Mogard getting caught up on that caution. He was down on the pit lane, and you know, that's pretty much what took Mogard out of contention of this race. Otherwise, I think we'd be seeing a Mogard main shootout right about now, Wesley. But currently, right now, even though Mains is checked out to about a 1.5 second lead, we've got one heck of a battle forming up here between the 42 of Andrew Navarro and the 54 of Curtis Critchley and the 83 of Brandon Gagnon here for second place. 3 trucks underneath a blanket, as there's not much room to give here.
This is for second, third, and fourth. Critchley, there goes Gagnon. He'll clear Navarro. And Mogard now showing muster and momentum back on the inside. .12 to go. Back straightaway, Gagnon finally clearing by Mogard. And there you see that beautiful 54 truck sponsored by PMI, Pavement Marking LLC. Critchley, he's got a little Halloween theme going on as well.
I believe the 42 Navarro may have had some issues there, as he's fallen back from second to fourth. Not sure if there was some contact there between the 54 Critchley and him or not, But as of right now, it doesn't really look like anybody's got anything for Garrett Maines here in this final 10 laps as we come around out of turn number 4. We're going to have 9 laps to go, Wesley, and I think as of right now, it's safe to say, barring some late race tragedy, it's going to be a Garrett Maines back-to-back 2 weeks in victory lane.
He won Atlanta last week in fine fashion. And now coming back from a strategy after stage 2, being mired in the back of the top 10 or more. He'll now work his way in this final 50 laps. Take advantage of a caution flag for a pit stop with around 40 laps to go. And go back to the lead. Maines, there's Critchley. Gagnon, Torres behind him. He's opened up that interval to almost 2.3 seconds or more. He could literally coast it from here. And he's doing a great job of the one.
If memory does serve correctly, Wesley, I believe Garrett Maines at the season opener at Daytona, he actually had a significant amount of damage on that truck for it being a restrictor plate draft.
So he got crashed. He got crashed. He was actually leading, and he got crashed coming to the finish line, and it gave the win to Curtis Critchley.
Well,
so honestly, in all the races so far for the PMI Truck Series, he has been in contention to win.
And the biggest thing about the Daytona thing is he came back to be able to even be in contention from having some early race issues with his father on that restart coming out of turn number 2 when Jason Maines got loose, and it ended up putting both father and son into the wall. Garrett Maines actually spent some time on pit lane and got that truck fixed and drove it back to almost a win at Daytona, which is almost nearly impossible for the amount of aerodynamics that type of racing entails.
Hey, 5 laps to go. Maines, the man out in front, leading the way in truck number 1, but there is also this battle down for 3rd and 4th between Gagnon and Torres. 4 laps remaining here at the stripe. Maines out in front. It's his race to lose.
Oh, is the 83 of Brandon Gagnon's going to push up the track a little bit. That's going to open up the door for Jared Torres, as they're going to be dead even coming down the back straightaway. Torres going to throw it deep into turn number 3. He's going to somehow make it stick, and he's going to open up about a 2-length gap over the front end of Brandon Gagnon. So Jared Torres having a great run through 3 and 4. It's going to be interesting to see if he can string together a couple of laps like this and possibly be able to steal one even better and take that 2nd position away from Curtis Critchley.
Coming off of a 40-lap green flag run. Here comes Maines off turn 4 to the tri-oval. 2 remaining here at Rockingham. He is out in front, set sail from the field. Sayonara. The truck 1 out in front for the white flag next time by.
Yeah, we have 2 laps to go here, and it is all Garrett Maines as he's got a 3.5-second advantage. He's going to come down to the stripe this time, ladies and gentlemen. White flag in the air. This is your CRN 1 to go. White flag. Garrett Maines pretty much out on a Sunday stroll right now as he has absolutely nobody in the rearview mirror to keep it under contracts. As Garrett Maines going to roll through 3 and 4. He's coming to the checkered, Wesley.
Here he comes from Powelton, Virginia for Elliott Salary Sports. He wins at Atlanta. He'll win at Rockingham. 2 in a row? You call that a winning streak. He'll win the Rock Racing Batteries 250 here at Rockingham Speedway. His 2nd back-to-back win on the series, and the domination of the truck number 1, Smithfield Foods Ford, continues. Critchley, the Daytona winner, will finish in 2nd. By the way, they're the only winners on the series so far. Jared Torres will go 3rd. Brandon Gagnon 4th. Andrew Navarro in the top 5. Fulton Weeks, Franklin Mogard, Matt Lee, the top 10. The celebration is on. He is lighting them up and burning them down in victory lane on the front straightaway. Brett, what a performance by Garrett Maines.
Absolutely. Garrett Maines killing 2 birds with 1 stone tonight, Wesley. Whether you realize this or not only did he win the race here, but Garrett Maines has done the impossible, Wesley. Garrett Maines has broken your announcer curse.
Yeah. I'm very happy. Congratulations. Thank you,
I'm
Garrett.
telling you, this kid's got a lot of talent.
Garrett Maines, the winner. A very fast Clan Wars Servers post-race wrap-up. Real quickly, let's take a look at the unofficial results of the Rock Racing Batteries 250 from the Rock tonight. Garrett Maines, your winner. 3.7 seconds back to Curtis Critchley. Jared Torres third. Gagnon, Navarro, Fulton, Weeks, Franklin, Mogard, Lee. I already mentioned them. They were in the top 10 here at Rockingham.
Position number 11 going to go to Nicholas Sacco. Position 12 going to go to the 68 of Ryan Kendall. Then it's going to be Jason Maines, Michael Adamson, Troy DeCare, Rhett Tucker, Jason Edminger, Peyton Howell, Billy Smith Sr., and Bladen Edwards rounding out your top 20.
And the rest of the rundown includes Kernan Church, Pete Polini, Nicholas Navarro. The rundown, Kyle Fowler, by the way, was the race director for the event tonight for the PMI Truck Series at Rockingham. When we come back, it will be a very fast Clan Wars Servers post-race wrap-up because we got to turn around and get ready for the next one. Coming up later tonight from Watkins Glen for the Northwest iRacing Truck Series and their round number 2 of the West Bay Napa Auto Parts Playoffs. Back from Rockingham, congratulations, Garrett Maines, 2 in a row. He wins here at the Rock. It's going to be a fast one. It's time for the quick Clan Wars Servers post-race wrap-up. Gamers hosting Gamers Worldwide. Clan Wars, the official communications partner of Live Sim Racing. Top 3 are in the board. We're going to talk to them. Brett Rolls with third place man. Jared Torres in 07.
Jared Torres, you had a really good truck there towards the end of the race. Looks like you were going to be able to come home in the hot seat tonight, but looks like time just got caught up to you here as Garrett Maines was able to come back around you, and he brought Curtis along with him. Do you think there was anything you could have done different to possibly seal that win for you tonight?
Yeah, I probably could have practiced here before. I've never raced this track until this session, so I bought it today, and I've never raced here.
All right, Jared, if you want to thank your sponsors real quick, we'll get you down and let you celebrate with your team.
Yep, just Phantom Graphics, and that's it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's your third place finisher. That's going to be the 07 of Jared Torres. Moving a little bit down the pit lane here, I'm going to come up to the 54 machine of Curtis Critchley. Curtis, you were in really good contention to possibly take the only driver spot to go back to victory lane for a second time in the series, but just fell a little bit short tonight here to Garrett Maines. Towards the end, middle of the run, looked like you started to have a little bit of problems coming through the lap traffic, if you will. Do you think maybe if you had just a little bit more time, you would have had anything for our leader, Garrett Maines, tonight?
I think it's hard to keep up with Garrett. He's a class act guy, and he's also super fast, way faster than me. But if I maybe worked my way through traffic a little bit more aggressively, because I went through very patiently just to avoid getting into anybody and any damage on the car, I feel like it would have been a way better chance of getting it. But I'd like to thank B-Leaf Farms, 7 Seas Cruises, and Phantom Graphics for all your graphic designing needs. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's your second place finisher of Curtis Critchley. We're going to hand it down to Wesley Outland, who's in victory lane with tonight's winner, Garrett Maines.
Hey, 2 wins in a row now. He won at Atlanta. Now he wins here at Rockingham of the Rock Racing Batteries 250 out of Powelton, Virginia for Elliott Sadler Esports, the Smithfield Foods Ford entry. Garrett Maines. Garrett, congratulations to you. Hey, listen, you had total domination the first 2 stages. Looked like you were going to struggle in stage 3, got mired in the back, worked your way back up on a caution with 40 laps to go, and you put it in victory lane. What's your take on the race? Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I kind of made my bed there in stage 1, going for stage points in stage 2. Just banking on a late yellow. I took fuel every single stop so that I could go longer than everybody, just in case there was a yellow. I wouldn't get pinned a lap down. I made my bet on the strategy, and I had to sleep in it, and it all worked out. There at the end. In the end, that was the best strategy to be on. I got stage points, and then I got the win, but it definitely made my work be cut out for me. And then, in the end, definitely not a supporter of the amount of tire sets we have. I think we need more, especially for a track like this. But, it was really cool to see Curtis and Jared finish where they did. They've been definitely drivers that have come out of nowhere, and they've picked up a lot of speed, and definitely up and coming.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations to you. Before I do let you go, since you are the winner, I'll let you thank your sponsors before we get out of here.
Yeah, appreciate it. Got to thank Smithfield, 101 CBD, SimSeat, Strickland Hardy. Also got to thank Lennox, and shout out to Rock Batteries for sponsoring this race.
Garrett Maines wins at Atlanta, and he turns around and wins here at the Rockingham Speedway. Driver the number 1 here, and that will wrap up our Clanmore Servers post-race wrap-up. Again, Clanmore Servers, the official communications partner of Live Sim Racing. Rockingham now in the rearview mirror. Points will be tallied up. 3 wins now, 2 for Maines, 1 for Critchley, and we move to the dirt of Eldora next Thursday night. And Brett, that's right in your comfort zone. And you said you're going to try to run that race, but what's your thoughts here tonight of Rockingham in closing?
Actually, this is the first time I've ever seen any race held at Rockingham, whether it be real life or sim. Even though with the slight little bit of issues we had with the server hiccups and, as we like to call it in the sim world, our little bit of rain delay, I think we had some pretty good racing. Seen a lot of guys up front. It wasn't, the same, like 5 guys. We had a lot of different competitors for the lead. And honestly, congratulations to Garrett Maines on getting the win, and I'm looking forward to next week.
A big congratulations again to the driver for Garrett Maines. Again, next week it is at the Eldora Speedway for 150 laps. On the dirt. Actually, I think it's going to be 250 laps, but don't quote me on that. I know that's what they advertise, but that might be a change for next week, of course. Big thanks to Rock Racing Batteries for being the sponsor for this event. Hope you've enjoyed it. We're getting ready to close her out and switch over for the other broadcast coming up for 55 laps at Watkins Glen for the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. We hope you've enjoyed it. For executive producer of LSR TV, Charles Wooten. Again, for Brett Rolls, I'm Wesley Outland. Congratulations, Garrett Maines wins round 3 of the PMI Truck Series at the Rock. It's on to Eldora next week.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSR TV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSR TV would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.